Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hey, Potter Than Hellions, welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. I'm Steve, your host, and I'm joined as always by
BC
and BB. And on the keys today is
Dylan.
That wasn't very enthusiastic, Dylan. I just got
Come on, do it again.
There you go. Yeah.
That was literally as enthusiastic as I always do it.
I know, but I'm a little tired of that unenthusiastic Dylan, so
It's
I want to get a little more
I don't want to drain the room.
Huh? That's okay. He wants to shock the people. All right, hey everybody, what's going on out there? Hope you guys had a good week. I had an excellent day today. Went out and played around the golf with my dad and a couple friends. It was a good day. Had a decent round, but of course it rained at some point because we can't have a day in Pennsylvania without fucking rain. Let's get right into it. What are we listening to? Anything new? Anything good? Dylan, how are you?
I've been going well, Steve. I've been going.
Yes, see that? That's the enthusiasm that I'm looking for.
I've been going back and listening to Ugly Kid Joe. Listening to their greatest hits album, Stairway to Hell. I've been listening to a little bit. This just a really interesting band. That's really all you can say about it.
I love their stuff. I think they're great. I would love to see those guys live. They played live once around here that I know of, and I got boned out of seeing them. That's a whole nother fucking story.
Classified as the United States.
Yeah, but I mean, they've had new stuff out as recently as like 2 years ago, maybe like a year or two ago. Right. Like real good stuff though. I've always liked those guys. A lot of cool shit out there. I love the America's Least Wanted album. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
America's Least Wanted. Friggin' excellent album. BB, how about you? What's going on in the BB world?
I just got Ron Keel's album, Right to Rock, the other day in the mail.
You got it.
Yeah, I got the
Right to Rock.
The Right to Rock. Got it. Got that on LP on eBay. A pretty good deal and really cool, really, basic kick-ass Ron Keel from back, I think it was like 85 maybe.
Now you wanted to get that so he can get a sign at the Expo, right?
Of course. See, that's where I was going with that.
Absolutely.
Since he's going to be at the Rock and Pod Expo, I might as well expand the LP edition to Ron Keel. And
excellent. I have my original Steeler album for him to sign.
Oh, wow.
Which, I don't know if... I know BC's familiar with it. I don't know if you have or not.
It's ridiculous.
Excellent
it's
album.
Ridiculously priced on
Is it
on
really?
eBay. Yeah. It's like over $100.
Get the fuck out of here.
I swear to God.
Holy shit. Wow. Mine's crisp copy is sitting at home. I just listened to it about 2 weeks ago. Friggin' excellent.
I think the cheapest was $129 I saw the other day.
And like that band, as it was on that album, was done before that album even came out. Mm-hmm. So maybe that makes it even
still kicking.
Great. Love it.
I think it's because what's in it? Yngwie and Ron Keel.
That was when Yngwie used to play songs. The guys singing. Cool. BC.
Yeah, the usual. Trying to fit in my music here. It's like pills now. Yeah. And just wish I had more time. Not enough time in the day anymore. So
you got nothing for me?
Nope. Listen to music. As much as I can.
You're fucking boring today. Come on.
Oh, my CD player died again. So.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, he'll make up for it with his rambunctious picks.
BC's gonna be like the Flintstones. It's gonna be like a
going back to
record player made out of stone. Maybe you won't break that one.
Oof.
I've been listening to a lot of Foghat lately. A little Foghat Live, a little Foghat Live 2. There was an excellent interview in the this month's Rock Candy magazine with the drummer is the lone guy from the original guys, still above ground.
Not the guitar player?
No, he died like 2 years ago, I think. Okay. But like real good stuff. I've always liked them. Back in the day, rocking out with my buddy Rob, we always used to like jam the fuck out to Foghat Live. And this is the first time I checked out Foghat Live 2. It's great. I think it's a different guy singing, though. I didn't really delve into too much who was actually playing on it. I know it was the drummer, maybe one other original guy or something. But like really good. And if you think Slow Ride and I Just Want to Make Love to You are the only cool songs they have, you're incredibly wrong. There's a ton of cool shit out there. They're like more boogie rock on some of the stuff than like
So last time I saw him was
shit like that. But they're like friggin' great band. I really really was into those guys. Foghat Live wise, and always check those guys out. And Slow Ride's a song. That's one of the songs you can never really turn off when you hear it on the radio. One of the few songs that you hear all the time that you don't mind hearing. Are you ready to take a slow ride, BB?
I am.
All right.
Because I'm ready to rock.
Because you're a rock and roll animal.
That's right.
All right.
But not a cowboy.
Couple news things. Actually, I just informed BC about this. He wasn't aware of the new Vinnie Vincent news out there that he applied for a copyright for Vinnie Vincent's Kiss.
applied where?
To the United States Copyright Office or whatever.
Court
the
of
hell it is.
America.
Can I apply for
You can. You could put like BC's Kiss or something like that.
I have a copyright.
BC's Lizzy Borden?
Yeah, for the Warning Level stuff. Our first EP is copyrighted.
Oh yeah, well that's cool.
So my name's on a piece of paper.
That's cool. Yeah, so he can. So if they, I guess they have to grant it. I guess so.
Yeah, they
he
have to
could. If they
prove it.
do, he could legally go out as Vinnie Vincent's Kiss. But I'm sure he wouldn't be able to use the Kiss logo though.
No, there's going to be a plethora of lawyers that are going to come at him because it's Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Who tried to patent the money bag sign,
And the horns.
and the horn. So I don't think he's getting into the front door without a team of lawyers.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it may have just been a ploy to get his name out there again after the bad press that he's had lately. I think that may be just a ploy for that. And maybe he was ridiculously thinking that no one would notice.
Slipping right under the radar.
It's that good of a name.
I don't know. I
it could be Vinnie
he's
Vincent's
just-
Warriors.
But he's just
He's
trying
the Ankh
to
Warrior.
keep himself attached to the Kiss name, I think.
Or Vinnie Vincent
But if you're-
Invasion, 'cause that
but
was
if you're
a fucking
Kiss
band.
fan,
Yep.
if you're a Kiss fan, you know Vinnie Vincent anyway. So what? I don't know what he's really going for, other than maybe to just piss off Paul and Gene or something like
But
that. I don't know.
even if you're not a Kiss fan, the name Vinnie Vincent's Kiss is not going to attract you to this guy.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be
No, I'm not
well, I
gonna
don't give a shit about this.
I'm not going to start listening to Kiss. Oh, who's this Vinnie Vincent guy?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to bring any new fans through the door.
Because there's only 4 names that
Yeah.
a regular person on the street would know are attached to Kiss. And
Right.
it's
We should do that.
Gene,
We can go
Paul,
out on
Ace,
the
and
street.
Peter.
Just walk down our street random, say, do you know who Vinnie Vincent is? We should do that
Nobody's
one
going to
of
know
these days.
who Vinnie Vincent is. That's what I mean.
I think if we ask 20 people, there's going to be 2 people that know who he is.
In Carbondale?
And we're going to say, holy fuck.
In Carbondale,
yeah, I think
there's
we should
gonna
do
be
that. I think we
0.
should do that.
I gotta lean towards him because half the people don't know where to fucking live in this town.
half the people don't
Even know their own name.
half the
They don't
people
know their own
the
name.
lead
I think we
guitarist
should
of
do that.
AC/DC.
Just a social experiment.
You're gonna get 0. We polled 20 people in Carbondale. Name somebody.
Next time we go on an EMS call, when you ask the people, what year is it, what day is it, how old are you, and then you just throw in there, do you know who Vinnie Vincent is?
Who's the president?
Right, because a lot of times you ask who the
Vincent is.
president is, so to these people if they're not with it. So maybe you could say, do you know who Vinnie Vincent is? Maybe we'll do that.
It sounds
we
like a
should've
porn
did that
star
last night.
name to a regular person.
Huh?
We should have did that last night.
Starring in Studs, Vinnie Vincent.
And speaking of Vinny, he has a show booked in December 7th, maybe?
7th?
December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day.
Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
In Memphis, Tennessee, and he's doing an acoustic thing. I guess Robert Fleischman is supposed to join him for some stuff or something
Now
like
it's just
that.
gonna be him.
An intimate evening.
That's all it
Vinnie
says.
Vincent.
That's all it says.
It says unplugged Vinnie Vincent.
It might
That's
just
it.
be him without the crowd.
However,
No, there's tickets sold.
I was just listening to Thank You Joe Polo on Podcast Rock City. Actually, today I was listening to it. Today is August 8th. And they put out an episode about the gathering before Kiss Cruise 8 in Miami on I think there's 2 different nights. There's a VIP night on the 29th, and then on the 30th, the night before we sail, there's a big thing. And Vinnie Vincent's going to be there. And he's supposed to get up and play I Love It Loud and All Hell's Breaking Loose with 4 by Fate.
Wow.
I said,
So
I said this
I'm
before.
passing along, from superfan Andy Moyen and Joe Odell, I believe, that's putting on the gathering, and Joe Polo had them on Podcast Rock City. And look at BC's fucking dumbfounded. I
have yet to
was
see
on the
him play
fence to
anything.
go to that, but now I think I have to go because I want to see
If he plays.
he could play. because he has.
And that'd be before that, right?
You know, and I'm not busting on him, but
No.
you know, for a guy that, and BC brought it up before we got on air here, you know, for a guy that claims that he's been playing like 12 hours a day for the 20 years that he's been like off the grid. Like, first thing, I mean, if it was me, first thing I'd come out with that guitar and that fucking Marshall crank, then I'd tear everybody's head off with the fucking thing.
Listen, it's like Halley's Comet. You have to be in like the right place at the right time to see it, or else you're not gonna experience it.
I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Hopefully it comes out.
I hope he does. I hope he shreds the hell out
We
of
wish
it.
all the best of Vinny
Although
Vincent.
there's not really a guitar solo in I Love It Loud though.
I Love It Loud is like that's probably one of my least favorite Kiss songs.
The most like
controversial opinion. I think it's bland.
Yeah.
It kind of just keeps going.
it's a song to
at
get
the same pace.
I
see
get
where
sick
you're
of
going, yeah.
early. I
Like at least
easily,
Rock and Roll Night has some exciting parts to it.
Yeah,
Like, I Love It Loud.
I'm
It's,
just
One tone through the whole.
I'm a person at a concert. Like I'm paying to see the band sing. I don't want to sing the song.
yeah.
I'll sing along with you, but you sing the song. I don't like that. You know what I mean? And that song just grates on you after a while. You're just like, I'm in the crowd, blah 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 blah. You know, I just don't like doing that. I hate it. But
Love it or leave it. We'll leave it.
I mean, he could have. I mean, I could see them doing "I Love It Loud" because it's, you know, it is that crowd chanting sucky stuff. But I could see why they're doing that.
They'll make you say yeah.
Yeah, but all hell's breaking loose. They put out a survey, not for the last Kiss Cruise, for the Kiss Cruise 6. You picked 3 or 5 songs that you wanted to see Kiss perform on the Kiss Cruise. And I think like maybe Tomorrow and All Hell's Breaking Loose were in the top 3 or 5 or something like that.
Wow.
And a ton of people voted for that. And so they made it seem like, you know, the top songs they were going to do.
Nope.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
We know you voted, so let's play rock and roll all night.
Yeah. And someone just put out a post on the Kiss Cruise Facebook page. You know, what 3 songs do you not want to see Kiss do on the Kiss Cruise? I'm like, Beth, Rock and Roll All Night, Shout It Out Loud. Like, they're just Beth. I never want to see ever again. But like, I'm Shout It Out Loud and out, and Rock and Roll All Night. I know it's the Kiss song, but like, just I'm over.
Shock the people and don't do it.
I know.
They did with something.
They didn't do it though on the Sail Away show. I want to say the last 2 years, which was good, although they still did Shout Out Loud.
They should do like a Wicked Lester set, where like
We get the guy come out and play the flute for She.
and like they're going into the crowd and making people clap their hands for like that Into the Woods song or whatever the fuck. Like they should do something fun like that. Like I really wanted them to do a live commentary of Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. That would have been fucking hilarious.
That would have been cool.
But Paul's ego is too big for that.
Your talisman should protect our powers.
In this scene, Ace was not in it. So
Or this one.
Stuntman.
Or this one.
That's not Peter's real voice. He wouldn't show up to do looping.
So we had BC come in and talk.
Hey, motherfucker.
All right. One other news thing here. There's been sightings in Vancouver, Canada, of Stevie Young, Phil Rudd, and Brian Johnson. There was a picture posted online with Brian Johnson and Phil Rudd outside of a studio. No sign of Angus, but there's, speculation is running absolutely rampant out there. I would love to see another AC/DC album, even though I'm sure it'll probably be another mid-tempo AC/DC album like we've been getting for the last 15 years, but it's still an AC/DC album. And what do you guys think?
What was the last album they did? Was it? It wasn't.
Rock or Bust.
It was Rock or
Rock or
Bust.
Bust.
Because I was thinking it was Black Ice, but I'm like, it's not
We
Black
Brian
Ice.
Johnson's ACDC.
Yeah, he's gonna copyright that Brian Johnson's AC/DC.
Yeah. it's-
Doing only Back in Black forward. No Bon Scott stuff. What do you guys think?
I did see that, and like you said, yeah, it'd be cool. Hopefully, man. But hey, at least they're getting some hype going again.
Yeah, at least they're trying. We'll see what happens down the road, and
It'd be better.
see where they
Yeah.
put.
It'd still be better than Axl Rose. I'm sorry.
It's just so different with Axl Rose.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I said, he did get them to dig a little deeper into the chest of AC/DC, but still, I like Brian Johnson out there. Dylan?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility that that's what's happening. It could also be that they're all just hanging out, or they're like maybe in the studio just like watching stuff happen. Because it might not be they're on the album. They might either guest on a song, or they might just be like showing support.
Because wasn't there speculation that they were going to try to do one with Axl actually?
Yeah, like because that would seem more likely than Brian Johnson coming back for a full album, because vocal wise, it's a lot tougher to, strain that instead of like if you have guitar problems, you could do that a couple times, but vocals once they're shot, they're shot. So I think like just like with Alice Cooper's band, like the original Alice Cooper band coming back for a couple songs, I think that might be the case with this. They might appear on a song or two, but I think it's going to be like the Axl and
Maybe
show.
I mean, I like Phil Rudd, but I really like Chris Slade.
Chris Slade is the best AC/DC
I love
drummer.
I love the Donington show where he's drumming on that. I think he's so steady, and I think they did a good job replacing him. And also too, Cliff Williams claimed to have retired after the last tour, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with a bass player in AC/DC also, should they continue.
Well,
so
guys,
it looks like something's happening.
I don't mean to break the news, but yours truly got the call.
All right. Well,
We
you know
wonder
what?
where you've been the last couple days.
Yeah, I was in
gonna-
Vancouver.
We got it in.
I'm still going to send you the audio file every week.
I'll get to it when I can.
So episodes may be coming out every 2 weeks, everybody. And everybody out there, thanks for listening. We hope you're enjoying the show. We hope you guys enjoyed the Jeopardy show last week.
Yeah. Oh, the D in AC/DC stands for Dylan now, but
Okay.
let's do the Jeopardy. The C is Chris Slade. The A is Axl Angus.
Axel. Totally threw me off.
Sorry.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the Jeopardy show last week. We had a blast doing it, and the outcome was not to what I had hoped for. And I want to congratulate BB once again for a good win there. And I have no one to blame but myself for fucking it up at the end there. And but it was fun. I think Dylan did an awesome job with the questions and everything like that.
If you guys want to see another one like that, we have.
Let us know. And I don't know. We may have to go back on what we talked about, how to do the next one, because.
It's a lot harder than you thought.
Oh, you're not kidding, because we were going. I don't know if we even said it on air, but we were talking about whoever the main loser is, which would be me, would be the host for the next one. But like, I'm thinking of shit how to write the questions. Totally fucking clueless.
Yeah, it's
So, Dylan, you may be the permanent host. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I love making the questions, and I love feeling superior when you guys don't know
You love watching
the
this.
answers.
You love watching the squirm going.
As Dylan's doing questions with Wikipedia in front of him, and we're just sitting here like dopes drinking beer.
Listen, Alex Trebek has the note cards in front of him.
I know, and he seems superior too. But it was great though. Would you guys? I thought it was like I thought it was
Props to
and
Dylan.
it was
That
different.
was really cool.
And it was a week two where we didn't really, not that I don't mind listening to stuff for shows, but like it was just.
stealing bread from the mouth. I was quoting Hunger Strike. Continue.
Oh. I hate that song. We'll talk
We're going to be
about
talking
that too.
about.
Yeah. So I just want to say again, Dylan, awesome job. BB, congratulations. BC, good job. I think we all had a good solid showing there. We had a couple
Missed a couple ground balls,
yeah,
but
a couple
we caught a
grounders,
couple-
but
Don't know the lyrics to Africa. Come on.
once
guys.
we got into the swing of things, I thought it was great. So good job. Hope you guys enjoyed that out there. Let us know what you think. If you have any ideas for categories or questions or whatever, message Dylan.
Yeah, send them in to me.
Friend him on Facebook from the Potter Than Hell page and send them to him.
Yeah, we don't want them cheating, so.
Yeah, so this week we're going to be talking about EPs, extended plays, and extended play albums. So they could be a band that is just starting out and they want to get a quick more polished version of their demos out there for people to see, what they're doing, what they're about. Or it could be an established band not really wanting to do a full album and say putting out some covers out there or a couple of original songs without putting a whole album out there. And we had a ton to choose from, which when I started looking for them, just even through quickly through my iTunes and stuff like that in my library. I mean, I think I had like 50 some or something like that, like right off the bat. And so we'll go around the table. Dylan, we're gonna let you choose who goes first today.
Well, let's see. Whose picks do I like to... No, I'm not going to go that way. Let's start off with the winner of Jeopardy.
All right.
There you go.
Give him some kind of
All right,
prize.
BB, when you go, we'll each do 2.
Okay.
Okay. Bring up your...
Are we doing them at once, or are we going...
No, do one and then
Okay.
go around, do the other. Let us know like what you were thinking when you picked it. I mean, what the fuck were you thinking when you picked it? And talk about it, and then we'll all just discuss it as we go around, and then pick your second one. Then we'll move on to Dylan's next pick for a person to go.
All right. Let's go. We'll go with my first pick. The EP from Ozzy Osbourne, Just Say Ozzy. It was released March 17th in 1990. Not many songs on it. There's only 6 songs on it. I picked this. This is the one that showcases Zakk Wylde and his guitar shredding, if you would. They start off the album with Miracle Man, Bloodbath in Paradise, Shot in the Dark, Tattooed Dancer, Sweet Leaf, and War Pigs. They kind of cover a couple new songs from Ozzy's
No Rest for the
No Rest for the Wicked. And then they go into a couple older Black Sabbath songs, which I thought was really cool. And the lineup for this album is Ozzy's on vocals, of course, Zakk Wylde's on guitar, Geezer Butler on bass, Randy Castillo on drums. So, you gotta, like we've said several times before on the podcast, Ozzy just surrounding himself with great musicians. And it's a pretty straightforward, all the songs are live. I believe they were recorded in the Brixton Academy in London. So I believe this is No Rest for the Wicked's tour that they record some of these off of. Really cool short album, and it really gives young Zakk Wylde he's playing Sweet Leaf and War Pigs, and he's turning it into his own little guitar riff. I think Tattoo Dancer on here is phenomenal. It's really, really good. It's almost sped up in a way. It seems like it's a step up from like the regular album version. And even Bloodbath in Paradise is just the song is just full of energy. The way they do it live is really, really cool.
Live is always better.
Yes, it's a really great album.
I agree. I mean, I got this way back in the day, but like you said, that was Zakk Wylde was the new guy back then, so that was the big talk around the rock world. Miracle Man, Bloodbath in Paradise. The only one that doesn't really jump at me is Shot in the Dark, maybe because that's kind of like Ozzy's rock and roll.
And actually, Shot in the Dark is the reason why this album's not available on Apple Store or Apple Music because
it's a Jake Ely.
No, Phil
Sassoon.
Has a lawsuit or something?
Yeah, it's like a legal struggle because of Shot in the Dark.
Yeah.
So like that and like Ultimate Sin are not like part of
Ultimate Sin
Ozzy's
either?
catalog technically now, or like they've been removed from general redoing, and they didn't remaster them or anything like that because of Shot in the Dark.
Really?
Yeah.
I read that, and then I didn't know about the Ultimate Sin.
Yeah. According to the almighty source Wikipedia, and apparently Live and Loud as well is also not. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what Wikipedia's telling me.
I did read about at least the song "Shot in the Dark."
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
hasn't been remastered.
Ultimate Sin is still on.
Is what they're talking about for
okay.
Ultimate Sin.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
And other than that, Tattoo Dancer, like BB said, I mean that's my favorite off that, just because. And of course the Black Sabbath classics.
Yeah, it was cool hearing Sweet Leaf and War Pigs done by Zach Wild before he did Zach Sabbath.
Yeah, that's right. Before Bearded Zach.
Yeah, before Bearded Zach.
He was anti-bearded back then.
Yeah.
But I always use.
He wasn't old enough to grow a beard back then.
Yeah, I think it was like 20
He was a skinny little guy back then.
Whenever and this is often whenever BB talks about Miracle Man, I always use this version of the song because I think this is my favorite version of Miracle Man.
Yeah.
I think it sounds great and it's live. It's got some energy. It's got a little more. It's slightly faster than the studio version. Not like breakneck speed, but like it adds
just enough to
oomph.
give it a little more.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I really enjoyed listening to these 6 quick tracks.
Yeah, I picked this up. When I first picked this up, I picked it up on cassette. I had already had No Rest for the Wicked on there. And like I said on the one episode we did, I don't know if it was the Mount Rushmore one or the Ozzy. It might have been the Ozzy Guitar Player ones. I had never seen the Miracle Man video. I don't know how the fuck I missed that. I have no idea to this day.
You weren't looking for it.
Well, I wasn't looking for it, but I was watching Headbangers Ball all the time and MTV and shit. I never friggin' saw it.
You were drinking. No.
Well, I'm not saying that I wasn't, but I like that. I thought it was really cool. I pretty much wore that cassette out, and Bloodbath in Paradise is in my top 3 favorite Ozzy songs. Absolutely love it. Tattoo Dancer is way better on this than I think on the album. I'm not a huge fan of the album version of that song. He tears it up on Sweet Leaf, was always a cool song, and he absolutely shreds the hell out of War Pigs on there. I think it was a good solid pick. It's it's well produced. It sounds good. I enjoy it. I think it's a really, really good EP. And that's what I like a lot about some of the EPs we're going to talk about tonight is the length of them. It's short, gets to the point. You're not sitting there for an hour listening to an EP.
Okay, you didn't have to look at me.
I didn't look at you. I was trying not to.
You looked at me before you talked about it.
I was just making sure we were still recording.
Steve, you must be dreaming.
I am.
Free.
But I think it's great. I really like it. I enjoy. Like I said, I played the hell out of that cassette, and I wish it was available to get now. So I'm going to see maybe if I can find it on vinyl or CD or something. I know I have it on CD somewhere. I'm going to have to dig for that, Dylan. I think I have it somewhere at the house.
No,
but I haven't seen it in a long time.
Off the record, have you bought anything off of that Discogs?
Yes.
Because the LP is on it for like $20, but I'm like,
oh really?
It has to look like it got run over.
Oh,
I've
gotten a bunch of stuff in that Discogs. It's good. The stuff is as they say they are.
Okay. I don't think they re-released this because of that lawsuit.
Okay, I'll definitely have to. I'll have to look for it.
Yeah,
actually, I never even thought to put that one on my list.
That could be reassuring.
Maybe I can find it in Nashville when we go down.
I was gonna say. I read somewhere the last couple of days that it's actually they're calling it a quote unquote collector's item because of it was never re-released.
I like it. Good job. Okay, BC, go next. What do you got for us on this for your first pick tonight?
I'm gonna go with the shortest one I have, Armored Saints EP from 1983, just titled Armored Saint, which is not my first Armored Saint, but I went back and of course once you heard the first album, you went back and grabbed anything you could. It's only 3 songs on it. Lesson Well Learned, which I just love that, and False Alarm, which to me is classic. That's a classic Armored Saint tune. And On the Way, which surprisingly, it's just lays the base work for the future of Armored Saint sound and everything to me. Like I said, unfortunately, this was not my first listening of Armored Saint, but definitely, it's definitely worth the pickup for anybody out there who has not checked out Armored Saint. Get out there, or I sing John Bush to your house.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm not going to listen to it because you're going to have to send John Bush to my house, BC.
That's it. He's coming.
It's cool to see the genesis of a band. Like there's another band we'll be talking about later tonight where you see how they started sound wise and just like thinking about where they're at now with like Win Hands Down and all that stuff. Like you could definitely hear
this.
You can hear this then. Like John Bush, I think still sounds top of his game, and even on this one,
he's so underrated.
Like Baby John Bush still sounds.
Baby John Bush
still sounds.
Little Johnny.
He had a full head of hair.
And it's a strong 3 songs. Like I didn't hate any of these songs. Like they were all really, really good. So I was I'd never heard this EP before. This was the first time.
Like I said, when I listened to this, and if this is the first thing I heard of this band, I would want more.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So it definitely left you wanting more.
It's a nice appetizer. To,
Yes.
To the
Definitely, and I'm in the same boat as BC. I had the very first Armored Saint that I had was March of the Saint, and I definitely agree. I love Lesson Well Learned. I mean, it's a short song, kicks ass, and boom, is done. False Alarm, I've always loved False Alarm. I love the time chains right at the chorus. The I mean, fucking absolutely love that. And On the Way, I never really heard On the Way. I think that's maybe on Not to the Old School, maybe.
That might have been put on.
It might be on that because I know I hadn't heard it like in the early listenings of Armored Saint, but I mean that's a great. The solos are ripping in that, and actually even for a band's first EP, that is a really big sounding EP. Like it's what I mean. It's self-produced by those guys, but I think it's a really big sounding EP, and I really great. And like BC said, if this was the first time that I heard Armored Saint, I would definitely be like, holy shit, when are they going to put out a full album?
Wow.
Definitely. And they're a band that, like I said, we used to buy different albums and everybody used to kind of pass around and tape them and stuff like that. And I was the one to pick up the Armored Saint album. I mean, like the cover was cool. Here's the guys on the cover and the name is friggin' awesome. So, and that was one that I was definitely not sorry that I picked it up.
Yeah, this album really grabbed me. I'm in the same boat as Dylan. I've never heard this EP before, but it seems like as the songs went on, they got a lot better. Like my favorite is On the Way. I thought that was the best song on there. And then back to your aspect of wanting more, you're like, shit, there's only 3 of them on here. Like I just downloaded and just let them go. I'm like, well, that was it. But it was a really good album, and On the Way really drew me to wanting a little bit more of Armored Saint because I only have like 2 CDs in the catalog of Armored Saint. But
You better get moving.
This is a great starter from 1983. Really, really, really good. And the Sandoval Brothers, they click really good.
Cool. Dylan, what do you got up first for us?
I'm going to go in chronological order. So my first EP came out in 1987 from Elektra Records. It's the $5.98 EP or the $9.98 CD, Garage Days Revisited, by Metallica. Well, this was the first recording to feature bassist Jason Newsted, who I think looks-wise as well as playing-wise fit the band the best out of the bass players. I mean, Cliff Burton was probably the most skilled of the 3, but I think Jason fit with the band, even though they kept him at arm's length because of him replacing Cliff Burton. And this is a really cool album to showcase Jason Newsted because they're putting Metallica spin on all these cool like punk songs and they're covering like Killing Joke, The Misfits, a song that Last Caress, of course, they would play live often, Holocaust, Budgie, which apparently was one of the bands that like impressed James to want to like play with Lars because he listed Budgie in like the list of influences. He's like, oh yeah. And of course they cover Diamond Head, though not Am I Evil. They cover Helpless, which is a really cool cover. All of these songs are great. There's 5 of them: Helpless, The Small Hours, The Wait, Crash Course from Brain Surgery, and Last Caress, Green Hill. And it just sounds like a band getting together in a garage and just like playing the songs that they grew up listening to and getting ready for like a club show. And it's not the best produced by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that their passion for these songs comes through really well inside of this recording. And it's a cool way to ingratiate a member into your band by like just playing songs that
Have fun with.
yeah, that you all might have grown up with. Just get to know each other through music that you like. And then they went on to do Injustice for All and then leave Jason out of the mix entirely. Yeah, what do you think?
I'm not a huge fan of this.
Are you going to say that for everyone?
I'm not.
It's 25 minutes.
Not for everyone.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. I think it lacks energy for Metallica. I really do. You're in between Master of Puppets and Justice for All. If you look at them in that context, it seriously lacks energy.
Well, I mean, they had lost a band member.
I realize that, but look at Justice for All. So
this is a healing process for them.
I don't know. Well, they must have been really down in the dumps. It's not bad. It's not bad.
A fucking bus. I would be down in the dumps too.
I just think it lacks energy. It's good. There's good stuff there. What do I like the best here? I like Last Caress. That's good. I mean, you've heard that a bunch of times. Crash Course and Brain Surgery is cool. It's got a catchy riff and a good solo. The bass and the weight is really good.
Yeah.
I like that. It's got a good solo. The Small Hours, it picks up in the second half, but I think it's a slug of a song to get through to get to that good part in the middle.
Well, it's a band called Holocaust. So.
Yeah, and Helpless. That's where the lack of energy kicks off for me. I think, but it's decent, but. I think it's weak for Metallica.
See, I don't agree with the lack of energy. I just think the production that maybe brings this album down a couple notches. But I think the energy's there. Because these are like punk songs that they're covering. So you need energy to cover punk songs. Or else it's going to be fucking bland.
They're not a punk band, so it's not bad, though.
Heavy metal is just like a heavier version of punk.
I know, but I think it just lacks. It's a little lacking, in my book.
EB, say something nice about the
All
album.
right, buddy.
So I feel good.
I enjoyed it. It's Metallica. How can you not enjoy it? Helpless, I think, was a really cool way to open the album. I thought for me, that was the best song on the album. The Small Hours, that almost has like a horror movie tone to it.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And you already touched on Crash Course for Brain Surgery, the way Jason Newsted starts off with that bass. I think that's a great, showcase of what he's going to bring to the band, down the road. I love how that song starts. And the last song, I thought it was weird. It was almost like a real heavy like Ramones song.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Definitely it wasn't the worst one, but I really liked it.
BC.
I have this when it first came out. I got it right on vinyl right from the get go. I like it. Like I said, it might not be like album worthy, but it's called Garage Days.
Yeah.
It's about being in a garage, just jamming out some tunes and having fun. And I think this production, it ain't an album, but for what it is, it's just a little EP they thrown together. I like it. Like Helpless is one of my favorite, and Last Caress is probably my two favorite ones on there. Lyrics had anything to do with it. But.
Yeah, I think when they came into it wanting to be like, let's go back to our roots, let's be this garage band again, and just have fun playing these songs, and I think that comes through on this album. Okay, so since you didn't like my pick, let's hear what your first pick is.
That's all right. I didn't say I didn't like it. I just that lacked a little bit, but it's Metallica. Less energy Metallica is better than no Metallica. My first pick here, I'm going to go semi-chronologically, Dylan, I think, for the first half of the show, and, we'll see where the rest of it goes. And then we'll just maybe not. I picked the Def Leppard EP. I think it was cool. There's only 3 songs on it. It came out in, when did this come out? 1979 it came out, I'm sorry. And it was recorded with a session drummer. Rick Allen was not in the band yet. And Joe Elliott hand wrote the lyric sheets down and photocopied them to put as inserts in there. And I think it's cool. It's one of those that here's what you can expect from this band. The production I think sounds pretty damn close to what you got with On Through the Night. And the songs are Right Into the Sun, Get Your Rocks Off on side 1, side 2 is the overture, which is like almost an 8-minute song for Def Leppard. Like that's like almost Hysteria lengthwise. It's a cool song. It's kind of a little weird for Def Leppard. Like you really don't think that when you hear that song. But Right Into the Sun is a great song. It's got good energy. It's got a cool drums in it. And like I said, there's a session drummer on that. And Get Your Rocks Off came out on Through the Night. And I think it's just a good little. Like the Armored Saint one, 3 songs, quick to the point. Boom! Here's 3 quick songs. Here's our band. Let's sell. I think there were like 1,000 copies made of them right off the bat, And it just put these guys out there. I thought it was just a good little thing. And like we said before, back in the day, if I heard this, I'd definitely be interested in hearing more from these guys. And even the name was cool.
And even with the leopard and the thing.
The leopard and the phonograph thing.
The phonograph on the cover was cool. Yeah, I thought it was really good. The first song, Riding Into the Sun, I really thought that could have been like an On Through the Night song. Loved the cowbell in there. But out of the three songs, this definitely sounded like early Def Leppard. Second song I thought was really cool. It kicked ass. The really fast guitars. Get Your Rocks Off. Really, really cool song. And then I was somewhat a little bit disappointed on the third song, the overture.
It's a little lacking.
Yeah, a little lacking for.
I think it's
a closer.
They kind of try to stretch it out a little too much. I think.
Yeah, but I think that second song, Get Your Rocks Off, I think that really carries the album. Really, really good song.
I agree. Like Steve said, here's another 3-song EP, because back EPs got longer as time went on. But like you said, Riding in the Sun, overall, I think that's a real good tune. It sounds a lot like, say, the next two albums.
Yeah.
It definitely has
you can definitely tell what they're going for.
Get Your Rocks Off, to me, I mean, the solo on that, just the way I can listen to it over and over. And the overture, like I said, I don't know what they were trying to do, but I like when I like the bass in it.
Yeah.
But over that, I mean, like, you can definitely see, like you said, you see where you look back now, it's like, there's, you hear even to this day, way back in the beginning.
Yeah, I was shocked by how different this sounds from even like 3 albums later, Pyromania. Like, if you played like one of these songs for somebody, like say like you played Overture for somebody, and then you played something like Stage Fright, they'd be like, dude, that's
the same band?
2 different bands. Because I think Joe Elliott sounds completely different. Like,
he absolutely matured as a singer, definitely.
It's a younger sound, and I like how he sounds on this, but I do prefer like later era Joe Elliott a little more. But I kind of like seeing the progression of it.
And he sounds pretty much the same on Through the Night. Also.
Yeah, On Through the Night, like you could definitely.
Yeah, and once you get to High and Dry, the voice
starts sounding
changes.
Like later Joe Elliott.
Yeah, and Ride Into the Sun was actually released on Retroactive when that came out like years later. That was then it was like of unreleased songs and everything like that. It came out. I'm not sure what year it came out, but it was one of the songs on there. Because I was when I first heard that, I was like, Ride Into the Sun. I know that song, and I know Get Your Rocks Off was on Through the Night, but I'm like, I know I heard Ride Into the Sun, so then I looked it up and it was on Retroactive. So, and actually, if you want to hear a re-recorded version of that, listen to Retroactive, and the more mature sounding Joe Elliott is singing it on that version. If you want to check that out.
Yeah, I think Get Your Rocks Off is probably my favorite on this.
It's got a cool riff. It's got a lot of energy. Yeah. And you could definitely, even just on that song alone, you could definitely want to hear more from that band. Definitely.
Yeah, Overture overstays its welcome.
It does.
And for some reason, when I was listening to Ride Into the Sun, for some reason I was hearing Sunriders, Ride Into the Sun, and I'm like, this is a fucking stupid lyric, but it's not that at all.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
So I appreciate the song a little more now that I actually looked up the lyrics.
All right, cool. BB, what's your second EP for the evening? Your extended play.
All right, let's go with Anthrax, Armed and Dangerous. Yes. Released February 1985. It's produced by one of our good friends, Carl Kennedy. Another short album, 5 songs on this one. Armed and Dangerous, really good song. It really shows Anthrax's ability to get out there. And this is actually the first album featuring Joey Belladonna.
Yep.
And his pipes on this song is just unbelievable. Raising Hell is another really good sounding tune. Joey, his pipes, the way he screams, it's unbelievable. I don't know how he gets so high. And then the third song, they cover the Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen. It's another funny tune. I like it a little bit better than the original. Then song number 4, Metal Thrashing Mad. It's a live tune. Once again, great Anthrax song. One of their songs that they usually do live. And then another live song, Panic. Really, really good. Joey Belladonna's on vocals. Great lead guitar. Danny Spitz is there. And then you have Scotty in on the rhythm, Frank Bello on bass, and Charlie Benedetti on drums. What do you think?
I really I dug this band when this first. And again, this wasn't my first time with seeing, unfortunately. Spreading the disease was. I mean, Anthrax.
Yeah, it wasn't your first time with seeing.
It wasn't my
Wasn't your last either.
But Arm of the Dangerous, one of my favorite. Raise Hell. God Save the Queen. I don't know. Sex Pistols.
It's tough, but it's better.
Sex Pistols don't
that
do
was
nothing
better
for
than
me.
the original.
But my favorite to this very day, when they're Metal Trash and Mad, because I have something, I gotta find it. It's these Anthrax doing like a show for like maybe 30 people in a room like this.
It's like a radio station or something, isn't
Something
it?
like that. It's like a small.
I know the show. That's
And they
freaking excellent.
And they do that, and every song on there, like Keeping It in the Family and shit. It's
wow.
excellent. What is it on? I cannot remember to save my life.
I get it. It's on a DVD, I think, too. I have to check that out. Yeah.
I remember I play it over and over. That's on there. It's fucking cranking, and I love the solo in Panic.
Oh, yeah.
But Metal Trash and Mad is just, to me, that's classic.
Kick-ass.
Anthrax.
Not only was it produced by one of our good friends, Carl Kennedy, but it was produced in Ithaca and recorded in Ithaca at Pyramid Studios, which is now torn down, sadly. Because I went looking for it once I figured out, oh fuck, Anthrax recorded most of their first material in Ithaca.
Yeah.
Because I used to go there for school, for people that don't know. But I love Anthrax. I'm really actually kind of glad that you picked early Anthrax for an EP, because we might be talking about later Anthrax, so it'd be cool to compare and contrast them. I think Joey Belladonna really puts on a good show for his first appearance in Anthrax. And actually, I listened to the reissue version of this, and like the last 2 tracks are sung by Neil Turbin. So it was cool to contrast those 2 singers. And then John Bush listening to Armored Saint. So I got to hear all those in one thing. But I loved Armed and Dangerous. It's such a great song. I really do like their cover of God Save the Queen. I'm a big Sex Pistols fan, and I think they do it justice. They bring that like trashy like feel to it that you really need for that kind of song, because there's just a bunch of punks just playing and saying fuck you to the system. I do like this version of Metal Thrash and Mad too, because I've heard it done by 3 different people now, because John Bush re-recorded it for the Greater of Two Evils, I think is what that album is. And it's cool hearing Joey Belladonna sing it, because it's a song made for his pipes, because he could scream like nobody else. Yeah. It's a really good way to show off your new singer with this short EP right before Spreading the Disease.
I really like this. I enjoy it. Armed and Dangerous is a great song, and we did talk a little bit about Carl Kennedy working with Anthrax, and he said, these guys were just laser focused in the studio, and it really shows itself on this album. I think it's tight. The production is great. When does this come out? 1985, I think this came out.
85, yes.
And I once again disagree with Dylan. God Save the Queen. I hate that song, no matter who fucking sings it.
It's a good song.
But like BC, Metal Thrashing Mad is just that would be a song. One of the very few songs that if someone said to me, "What song do you think of immediately when you hear the band Anthrax?" That is a song that immediately, one of the maybe top 3 or 4 songs that immediately click in your head. Metal Thrashing Mad, and and it's on their EP. It's early, and it's great. And Panic is friggin' excellent too. I really enjoy that, and I think it's great. I think it's a great effort from these guys, and you're absolutely right about Joey Belladonna's vocals on this. He's just bang, like right there for these songs. Just the perfect focus on these songs, and he totally fits this material.
Yeah, and it's cool hearing because I think Dan Spitz was such a good guitarist for Anthrax, so it's cool hearing Dan Spitz, because now we've kind of had the plethora of different guitarists.
Right.
We have a new, like a completely new guy now.
I couldn't even tell you his name
I
right
can't
now.
remember his name, but like Dan Spitz to me is like the Anthrax guitarist, and he's in top form on this album too.
I think that Dan Spitz, if you look back at the when they played live back then, like when Scott Ian had hair, and he would play like that guitar with the New York Yankees symbol on it, and doing his stomping around and stuff like that. I think that the Dan Spitz, even his look fit Anthrax better than like Rob Correggio did, or whoever the dude is in there now. I think, and definitely great player. I mean, they're all excellent players. I mean, they wouldn't be playing in Anthrax if they sucked. But I think just look-wise and feel-wise, I think he was like my favorite lead guitar player in Anthrax. I mean, the other guy is fantastic, great solos, great stuff. But I think he, like when Dan was in there, I think he meshed with the band better on stage, because I've seen them with Rob Correggio, and he just kind of was standing there. And I really haven't seen a lot of stuff with the newest guy. I apologize, I don't know his name right off the top of my head.
Sounds great on Kings Among Scotland.
Yeah, he does. And, he may be the most energetic guy ever on stage. I don't know. I have to look into a little more.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a great album. And I think it's a great sounding album, too. The drums sound so good. Imagine that. The drums sound good on something produced by Carl.
And I want to say this is like the first full release that they had Frankie Bello on bass, because it was Charlie Loca with Fistful of Metal, and he was actually the bassist on the 2 tracks with Neil Turbin. So I think this was Frankie Bello's first run with bass. And talk about energy, that guy's a maniac on stage.
Absolutely. He's like he's like Bruce Dickinson with a bass.
Yeah.
All right, good pick, BB. Good job, buddy. Thanks for coming tonight.
The guy's name may be Jonathan Donasis, Donais.
All right, Jonathan. Sorry, I hope to get to see you live.
Jonathan Donasis.
Anthrax actually just played around us about a week and a half ago, and of course, Steve was working, so I didn't get to see that show. I guess it was excellent though. So, all right, BC, what do you got up next, buddy?
I'm going to go with 2013's first of a series of EPs from Skid Row, United World Rebellion, Chapter 1, which is 5 songs. And, to me, I think it's just a nice, short. You don't have to go through just more of a a revived sound for them, I thought. And it's kind of interesting because you get 5 songs, you're like, oh, they were good. And you want the next one to come out. And then they came out with another one, and apparently the third one keeps getting postponed. It's supposed to come out this year, so there's still time.
But it's supposed to be, I think, a full album, though. I think they plan on going with the full album.
Well, they have a new singer, too, so I'm sure
that's what they
said.
They said these 2 were at the...
In which the new singer in Skid Row is kick-ass.
Kick-ass.
I saw them 3 or 4 times on Kiss Crew 6, and he fucking kicked ass. You're not even thinking Sebastian Bach. Where is he when he's playing this guy? Fucking excellent.
He's the original singer of Dragon Force.
But
The guy can bring it.
Kings of Demolition, to me, fucking that's the way he started off, and he right into Let's Go, and then the third track is slow it down there, and but then they come right back with Get Up, which I think is the best track off it, and they finish off with Stitches, which to me is a killer track. I mean, just a overall good sound, not really super polished, but not just right.
I think my Skid Row a little trashy.
Yeah, and it has a
little hungry. So I really enjoyed this EP. I don't know about you, Dad, but with Let's Go, did you get DC4 vibes from that song? Because I was especially
like
the
riff wise.
Yeah, I kind of feel this is like a DC4 song they never recorded. But I mean, Kings of Demolition is a really great start. That's probably the one song that I remembered listening to before. But every other track,
talking about Ammunition, how can you be bad?
Yeah, This Is Killing Me was probably my weakest song.
It has you going, and then also, not that I'm saying it's a bad song.
It's not a bad song,
it's
but
you're bam bam and it.
And it's right in the middle.
Yeah, throw it last.
And I'm looking on Wikipedia, and it says that there's 2 covers at the end of the album, but it's not on any release that I was looking at.
No, I didn't see that.
United by Judas Priest and Fire Fire from EZO. And then Chapter 2 had Sheer Heart Attack and Rats in the Cellar. But on the releases, like on Apple, it wasn't there.
Well, Sheer Heart Attack and Rats in the Cell. That's from the second. That's from
Well,
Chapter
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like on Chapter 2, those
Yeah.
are the two covers, and then
Yeah, I've never heard those either.
I mean, United's not the best Judas Priest song in my opinion, but
I hate that song.
I think that these 5 songs are a really good showing from this singer, and it's the final time we're gonna hear Johnny Solinger with Skid Row. So it's a nice time capsule for that era.
Oh,
of the
yes,
band.
he sings on 2 other albums though.
Does no,
Yeah.
but this is like the final
Oh, yeah, yeah,
recordings
yeah.
from him.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like this is like the final time you're gonna
Yeah.
hear him with Skid
Yeah,
Row.
I picked this up when it first came out. The first I heard of it, I was listening to, I think it was Trunk Nation or something like that, and I think he had Dave Sabo on there. And
Snake.
I think they played Kings of Demolition. I was like, holy shit, that song was just like, holy fuck. Like, kind of reminded you of a little more updated production of something maybe from what I might have been on Slave to the Grind, maybe. And I've always liked Johnny Salinger's vocals. I thought he was really good. Let's Go was great. I love the Let's Go. Like his vocals are spot on that. This Is Killing Me.
Was killing.
You know, ballad. Skip.
That was killing me.
Yeah.
That was killing.
Get Up.
That killed the momentum out there.
Yeah. I love the monster. Listen to the monster riff during the chorus.
You ever seen him do it live?
Get Up. No, they didn't do anything from any one of these
It's on YouTube.
on the
Did it?
Kiss Cruise.
I forget they would have did Kings of Demolition.
I don't think so. I'm gonna have to look, but I'm pretty sure I would have remembered.
I seen him do.
But they didn't do any of that shit, and I was yelling for it too. I was yelling for Get Up or Kings, but
This
nothing.
is killing me.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
good.
Yeah,
But,
and Fire, that's on the extra one, but that one I don't know. United, like I said, I'm not a fan of that Priest song. Stitches is friggin' excellent too. I think it's just a good, solid, quick album. You throw it on, track 1 and 2 and 4 and 5.
and you're saying to yourself, I wish this was a full album. So
Yeah.
You want the next one to come out, and the next
Right.
one came out, like, I think, not too long after that.
No, it
Within
wasn't.
maybe half, I think it was 2014, but the time frame was it a full year apart. Which
Yeah,
was kinda cool.
I enjoyed it. I think it's great. I think it's fucking.
And like I said,
excellent.
they've gone through some vocal changes in the last few years, which keep pushing back the third.
I do find it ironic because they were saying like we want to put out EPs because like it gets the music out to people quicker, and then like the third EP is like
Years later.
it's like,
What about Tony
it's
Harnell?
been 84 years.
Tony Harnell was there for what, a year?
Maybe.
I thought that was an odd fit. I don't know what you guys.
I mean, I've never seen them with him, but
They should
I
release
see.
like a choose your own
was something,
singer
you know,
version
yeah.
of it.
He's from TNT, and I was like, when they announced him being it, I'm going, like his style and Skid Row style. I don't think that was a good.
They should just bring back Bach.
no,
I'm joking.
I know.
But
Some people are clamoring for it.
What's
I'll
that
tell you
live
what.
album Bach for More?
Bach from more.
he's not bad. I
ZP
gotta give
Theart,
it-
the guy's
he's
name
good.
is.
He's
Yes,
really-
And he's great. I mean, he really brought it on the Kiss Cruise. I thought he was a great fit for those guys. And good pick, BC.
Yeah. Everybody hit the nail on the head, I think, with this one. First song, Kings of Demolition, they hit the ball out of the park with this one. This is a great way to open the song. It's probably the best one on the album. I really think that Get Up song could have been like an anthem, like especially in the during the chorus they're screaming Get Up. That could have been a really cool anthem song.
That'd be great
get
live,
everybody pumped up. And
I caught it.
that last song, Stitches, it's a cool, catchy closing track. Nothing spectacular, but yeah, great. And that Kings of Demolition song is just blows you away.
Yeah.
Really good song. So if you're a Skid Row fan and you have no clue what we're talking about this EP, you're only a Bon Scott fan, at least check that Kings of Demolition song out.
Whoa, where are you, man?
What?
Wow.
Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
Whoa, where are you, man? Whoa.
Jeez.
Remember?
That's a good. Take the bottle off.
Wow.
Get the, no
You're
more-
cut off, BB.
Holy cow.
No more. Put the bottle down.
1.5 and I'm done. Sorry, people.
God damn it.
It happens.
I don't even know where to go now.
All right, good job, Dylan. What do you got next for us?
Okay, I'm gonna get the ass kicking out of the way. My next
I'm gonna get the ass kicked.
my next EP is from Alice in Chains. It's their second EP, Jar Flies from 1994. It was recorded right after they fired Mike Starr on bass for his constant drug use. And they also, when they got back to Seattle from touring, from doing Lollapalooza, they found that they were evicted from their residence because they didn't pay their rent. So they were really depressed recording this album. It shows, it's a dark album, but I think they came up with some of their best songs, and musically they were probably at their most creative in terms of instrumentation and all that stuff. To me, the best song is Nutshell. I think like Lane Staley's vocals in that is just like haunting, and you just like feel this powerful presence when he sings that song. I like the version on their Unplugged a little better. They actually opened the show with that, but it's like a beautiful, like, haunting song about something really sad. But if you want a more peppier song, No Excuses is probably the most popular song on this album. Really good. Some awesome harmonies between Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley. I absolutely love how their voices mesh together on that song. And I think this is a good album. It's a downer, absolutely. It's not their happiest album, but they are Alice in Chains. They're not like a pop band. I think that they were able to capture this energy, and they really showcased some of the songwriting of Mike Inez, who was brought in to replace Starr. And I think he does a really good job with the writing of some of these songs. Like he has a writing credit on Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away, and Swing on This. So it's a good showing from their new bassist. Actually, the last two things I covered had new bassists. I could see you getting ready to eviscerate this album. It's a good album. People like it.
I like it.
Just because it's not like filled with solos and shit.
Is it my turn?
Go ahead.
I absolutely fucking hate this album. I think it's terrible. I can see why these guys are killing themselves. It's like, fuck.
Lane Staley did not.
Like, I wanted to go to bed when I got to listen to this thing. Here's my notes that I have on this. Rotten Apple, depressing. Nutshell, okay, depressing. I Stay Away, decent song, mellow, kind of haunting. No Excuses, best song on here. I like the bongos on it. Whale and Wasp, no good. Don't Follow, boring. Swing on This, boring. Sorry, Dylan.
He's not going to say anything nice about anything.
I did. I said No Excuses was the best song on there.
Yeah, but like if you called it,
I hate
terrible.
it though. Seriously. Oh my god, it's terrible. I don't like to listen to music and like feel depressed afterwards. Music is why I listen.
It's a cathartic.
When I listen to not
album.
be depressed. What?
It's a cathartic album.
Beer is cathartic.
They're getting through shit, and like it in turn helps other people get through their shit.
Well,
so it's a healthy.
For anybody that this album helped you get through something, awesome, good for you. But like this makes me want to just like not listen to it.
BB could just say something else.
Yes.
This album.
BB's the Alice in Chains guy. He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it.
I'm gonna save you, buddy. I already told them before. I'm glad you picked it because I was actually going to pick this. I really like.
So there was
this
going to be
album.
no escape for me, BC.
No excuse.
No,
I was.
You're either going to get the left.
I was locked in no matter what.
Or the right hook. You're going to get it right in the face, no matter which one. I think Rotten Apple, great way to start off the album. I love the talk box distortion.
Yeah.
That Jerry uses to start off the song. I think it's a really, really cool. And it has to talk volumes if 3 of the 7 songs were actually released as singles.
Yeah, true.
You have I Stay Away, you have No Excuses, and you have Don't Follow, all releases. And I believe they were pretty popular because they got a lot of radio play for that. And even the way they closed out Swing on This, it's such a cool, dark, bluesy song.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw this out there, Del. What do you think about this? Musically, you have this album. You have bongos, you have violins, you have harmonicas, and you even have like wood blocks.
Yeah.
Tell me that this album out of all of them, is probably musically put together the best.
Yeah, sonically.
All the shit that a metal band wants is a fucking woodblock.
They're not
Where's
a
the
metal
fucking
band.
chimes?
They're not a metal band.
Or grunge band,
God
whatever.
forbid that. Not like Kiss did a symphony show, and that's Kiss who talks about having anal sex. So like, your argument's moot.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Like, your argument's moot. Like that these kinds of instruments don't have a place in. But what about Apocalyptica? They have like violins and shit doing like metal songs. So like, it doesn't have a
So
place.
just think, if
I
it
just
wasn't
wanted to have something to say.
If it wasn't for Alice in Chains throwing violins in their music, maybe
Yeah, Kiss
they
wouldn't have
would
done-
never.
Wouldn't have
Hey,
done
for as
that.
much as I fucking hate Beth, that had violins in 1976, so. Next.
BC, did you like it?
I can't believe I used Beth as a defense for something. Holy fuck.
Is the cheese gonna stand alone?
No, I mean, I love when they came out with Facelift, even Dirt, and then like.
I like them too. Don't get me wrong. I like those albums. I think they're good, but this is just.
To me, it was different. But I like it. Like you said, you hear it so. And back then, you heard it so much. I Stay Away and No Excuses are probably two of my favorites on this album. Don't Follow. They played that a lot, so that kind of sticks in your head. But compared to like I like the grungier.
Yeah.
Oh, grungier
But
grunge.
overall, I don't mind it. I think I pretty much have all their stuff on CD. I'm a closet.
Yeah.
Alice
Alice
in
in
Chains.
Chains is good.
Closet, something.
I just think that I just think that Nutshell is probably like one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs of all time. I really love it. I love how they do it on MTV Unplugged. Like, it's just a very heartfelt, like, personal song. And
Yeah, when you know the meaning behind it, there's a little bit.
It's good.
I can assure you, none of these songs will make the playlist for Nashville. Like I said, I listened to it. I gave it a shot. It just didn't resonate.
Not your
with
cup
me.
of tea, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm gonna pick up something that is friggin' good. I'm gonna go
It must
to
be that one.
something a little more modern, little more something that came out.
So the chronological order is completely out.
Well, for the first half of the show, no, it's intact. I'm gonna do.
Oh, so okay.
But I'm going to
it's
do
compared
maybe
to the-
reverse on the second end of the show because I'm going to bring out the best one fucking ever for my last pick.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. I'm going to pick Hailstorm, Reanimate, the covers EP.
Okay.
Absolutely love Lizzy Hale. Not only is she hot, she is extremely fucking talented. Her voice, she is like a modern mix of Ann Wilson and Janis Joplin, and like take all the great female classic rock singers, mesh them together, and you get her. I think she opens it up with "Slave to the Grind." You know, we just talked about Skid Row, kick-ass song, and she does a what the hell's her name? Lady Gaga song, "Bad Romance," which is cool. Her vocals on that are just fucking unbelievable. And don't get me wrong, Lady Gaga is mega talented. I think she is a very, very talented artist. I think she's got a great voice and she's a great musician.
Good taste in music, too.
The only one that I really don't care for too much on here is Hunger Strike from Temple of the Dog.
The mind's still right.
Actually, but the thing I do like, they change the way that the song is. They changed the arrangement on the song a little bit towards the end, I think, on that version, and I think I like that part of it. Out to Get Me, a little Guns N' Roses she throws in there, and all I want to do is make love to you from Heart, from their 80s hit album. I'll tell you what, she sings the hell out of that song, and I was surprised to learn that Mutt Lange wrote that song.
He did, yeah.
I was like, holy shit, yeah. I was like, fuck. Like crazy that he wrote that song. And that is just a kick-ass song. And if you listen to the song, the girl's pretty much just the whore that picked up a dude and banged him and then had a kid by him.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But it's such a great song, and it's like she hits them high notes in that song, and you just get that kind of feeling, I think, when she sings that. And we'll talk more about a little bit stuff like that in an episode coming down the line. But and she does the Beatles song, "I Want You." She's so heavy, which when I'm listening to this song, I'm thinking, why? And I didn't even realize it was a Beatles song. I'm like, why do I know this song? And it was just such a different version of it. and I'm like, holy shit! And then it's just like, bing, that's a Beatles song. Like, really cool.
You probably only heard the shitty version on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club.
Probably, that's why, because I'm thinking, I know I've heard these
That
lyrics
version's
before,
terrible.
and what I do is when we're picking stuff like this and something that I'm not totally familiar with, I'll just put it in a playlist and play everything, and I won't read lyrics or who wrote the song or anything. I'll just listen to it and absorb it. But when I'm listening to it, I'm like, why do I know these lyrics? I'm thinking, but I don't know the. Like, I know the title of the song, but I don't recognize it, but I recognize some of the lyrics in it. Then I look and it's like, ooh, Beatles. I'm like, holy shit, this is like way the fuck better than the Beatles version. So that's my next pick. I think it's great. The music is great on there. The production is excellent. It's a great selection of songs. It's a great variety of songs, I think, from a couple different genres, I think. And I think it's just a great little EP.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. When I first downloaded this and I looked at the songs that are on here, first one I went to was Wright to Hunger Strike. Being a child of the 90s, I'm like, oh my god, this has to be fucking awesome. And I'm like, it's almost like country-ish. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, don't even tell me this whole album is going to be like The Mission again. And I gotta go through 6 songs and blow my brains out. But
That's what you get for skipping in the middle.
But I'm like, so I start opening song "Slave to the Grind." Fucking totally kicks ass. You know, it really brought me out of the gutter for being so disappointed. And like we talked about, I really thought that the Beatles song was the best one on there. I love when she gets so heavy and when she screams. Like, she screams so high pitched, and she put a great heavy twist on that Beatles song. It was amazing. And she, except for Hunger Strike, like Steve said, I think that was the only bad one on the album. Really, she did a really good job, you know, cranking out a little bit metal in these songs.
Yeah, I think with Hunger Strike, she took a shitty song and made it a little
Shittier.
better. A little better. BC.
I gotta agree. I mean, Lizzy Hill is a phenomenal vocalist. I've been kind of like following her,
Stalking her
in a way, and following her since her and her brother were just a little duo.
They were just two of them doing stuff.
They were just a duo, and they would go to county fairs and shit. And then when they
That's
came
why
out,
BC's not allowed around schools.
they don't understand. But I think this is what, 1 of 3.
Yes.
There are 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, Slave to the Grind to me, just I love that song to begin with, and they just kick it up.
I just picked it because it was the first one.
Bad
You can
Romance.
pick any of them.
Oh, any of them are great. Bad Romance. I mean, here she is doing, Lady Gaga, which to me, Lady Gaga, if she got away from the freak, she could really sing.
I would love to see her do like a fucking metal or rock album.
Yeah,
That would
it'd
be
great.
so kick-ass.
Well, she did a Tony Bennett album with them.
Yeah.
But that's good though.
that
I'll
was
tell you,
good.
She is
Yeah,
good.
she can sing. She has talent.
I really think she's extremely talented.
But Hunger Strike, that did thrill me. Out to Get Me is probably my favorite on this. And all I want to do is make love to
Because you like it, and she goes, "Cause you can fuck me." BC's thinking she's talking to me. I know she's talking to me.
She's talking to me. It says it in the credits. And all I want to do is make love to you. Fucking great.
It is. She sings the fuck out of it.
Because like I love Heart. I mean, I used to stalk.
Even their popular stuff.
I used to stalk Nancy Wilson a lot.
Still to this day.
I Want You So Bad. Like I said, I was not familiar with that song. Like who originally did
Right.
it. And I like it, but overall, great covers, like you said. I like when bands do other band stuff and just
Throw it out there.
and they put a little hailstorm to everything.
Right. Yeah.
There's a little.
They're like
different-
rocked up.
They throw it in little something that's not in the original song. I like that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, you can't do an exact version of a cover song.
No.
Because that's just stupid.
Doing a cover song.
Yeah.
I really love the last 3 songs on this album. I think the version of I Want You, She's So Heavy. I mean, I think I'm not exaggerating when I say I'm probably the biggest Beatles fan out of everybody at this table.
Oh, yeah.
This was off. It's off my favorite
safe
Beatles album, Abbey Road, and it's probably one of my favorite Beatles songs. And
Did you just say it was on Sgt. Pepper's?
no, I said that it was in the movie Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club
okay.
Band, but it's on Abbey Road. And actually, they put in a little bit of the song called "The End," where she's like, "And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make." Like she does that towards the end, where like she's Like I love the changes in this song. Like it starts off as kind of like almost like an apocalyptic doomsday type of riff, and then like it goes into this like weird like sleazy jazzy part, and there's that cool bass riff with the. And I think her vocal performance on that song and on All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You is worth listening to this album on its own, because she sings the fuck out of both of those songs. And I like the version she does About to Get Me. However, I don't like the up-tempoed version of Slave to the Grind. Slave to the Grind to me is like a dark, grindage song, and like they kind of bring it up to like poppier levels, and I don't know if it quite works for me. Just one man's opinion. I think her vocal performance is absolutely amazing, ear-shattering during the part that it should be ear-shattering.
You're right.
Bad Romance, there's this energy to the original version that this version lacks to me, because I'm a big Lady Gaga fan. I love all of her stuff, and I remember hearing this on the radio nonstop when it came out, and like changing like the one part to just nah, it gets annoying to me. Whereas like the Lady Gaga version, it's rah rah rah. She like does different things in that part.
See, I'm not that familiar with it.
And I don't know, it just seems like a little lackluster energy wise. And Hunger Strike, it's a little too slow for me. And the thing that I like about the original Hunger Strike is the difference between Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell's voices. And like that makes the song for me, because you hear like I'm going hungry, and then I'm going hungry.
Yeah, but she definitely hits Chris Cornell's.
Yeah, she
notes.
does Chris Cornell's part really good.
Eddie Vedder parts like.
Because the whole thing about that is like you're going from kind of a shitty singer to like a fantastic singer, and I like that. Whereas Lizzy Hale is just like a good singer throughout, and it kind of loses what to me makes the song special.
Yeah, for the record, I like the original version of Hunger Strike better than this.
I used to cringe when that used to come on MTV. I always fucking hated that song.
I think
it's like the rest of that shit. It's just so fucking depressing. It's like, God, like,
I don't know. I mean, like,
I know. Where's the fun in that?
I don't know if I would say.
I mean,
If you look at me, I'm not going hungry any fucking time soon.
I don't know if I could say that any of these songs I would prefer over the original. Maybe I Want You, She's So Heavy, because they really emphasize the heaviness of that. And like they make it just this epic sounding song, and it's a really great song to end out the album. But the rest of the songs, I like what they did with them. I don't like them compared to the originals, if that makes any sense. And that's not to say that this is a bad EP, because the last three songs are worth price of admission.
All right, cool. There's our first half. We each picked two around in this round here, and we're going to take a little break for station identification, and we'll come back with the hidden gems.
Still love it loud? So do we. Rockin' Pod returns to Nashville on Saturday, August 25th. Over 25 rock podcasts from all over North America, recording on-site. Vinyl and memorabilia dealers selling the best in rock merchandise. And awesome rock musicians and personalities participating in signing sessions and on-stage panel discussions throughout the day. Special guests include current and former members of Korn, Kiss, Angel, Winger, Loudness, Accept, Bang Tango, King Tracy, as well as producers that have worked with Slayer, Ozzy, Alice Cooper, Seven Dust, and many more. More guests being added weekly. Don't miss your chance to be part of an awesome celebration of all things rock. Rockin' Pod takes place at the legendary Nashville Palace, August 25th, 2018. More details available at rockinpod.com. That's ROCKNPOD.com. The Nashville Rockin' Pod Expo. Brought to you by Blind Tiger Record Club, School of Rock Nashville, and School of Rock Franklin, a DBG Productions event.
All right, guys, you just heard about the Rockin' Pod Expo. It is going to be kick-ass. We will be there, all of us guys here. And there's still time for you guys to donate to the GoFundMe that they have going for the Rockin' Pod Expo. You can donate in our name. None of the money goes to us. It goes to the cost of putting the Rockin' Pod Expo on, which will be on August 25th, which is Gene Simmons' birthday. And we will all be there. If you guys want to donate $5, you get a shout out from us. $10, you get a shout out, and give us an album to review, and we'll review it. $20, pick a topic for us to talk about, and you get a prize pack from us. We'll talk about your topic. $40, pick an album for us to review, and we'll get you on the air. You can review the album with us, and you get a prize pack in the mail from us with lots of cool shit. And for $50, there are, our deluxe prize, I'll say. Pick a topic, join us on the show for the whole show. You could, but you have to get your own beer, unless you're going to be in the studio here with us. And you get a prize pack in the mail from us.
Yeah.
Hey, Dill, I have a great idea. How about you and I go in, we'll split it $5 a piece, and we'll review like Hunger Strike, Devil the Dog.
I was going to suggest that if anybody wanted to donate $1,000, we'll cover Lulu in its entirety.
Oh my God.
Track by track, moment by moment.
Steve will be recording remote via rubber room somewhere. With a padded cell with a straitjacket on. I'll be like singing
Shot
Dwight
my legs
Fry.
and tits off, like
Yeah.
Kinski and Boris Karloff.
Oh,
and the,
God.
The
Oh,
dark
please.
of the moon.
Save us. All right, let's zip into our hidden gems here. BC, give us what you got today.
You're gonna go back with the probably like early 2000s when a lot of music we grew up on was underground, not really coming back. There were
Still
good
rumblings
stuff
out there.
A rumbling, but underground, a band called Brass Kitten, and off their album Across America.
That's one we picked up at the KISS conventions, right? The KISS
I want to
conventions,
say
wasn't it?
I have it at my house, and it's "Quit Your Bitching," which would be Dylan's song to Steve tonight. But here's a back to the '80s hard rock, just fun time, good music, have a good time, but that's check them out. They got
I'm sure these. I know I have heard them because that was one of the bands we picked up. I think at one of the KISS expos, and it's cool though. I don't even know if you could even still find it now though. We'll have to see if we can find it.
I haven't.
Yeah, but we've had it. But I wonder if you can still get it. We'll have to check eBay.
I think you could. I
Good
think
pick though. Those guys were pretty cool.
There
man.
is copies on eBay.
All right, cool. BB.
I'm going to pick a song from the band Hardline, Hot Cherie. They released that in 1992. Starts off with a real cool, later 80s, early 90s synthesizer start, guitar on there. Really cool, kick-ass. It comes off the album Double Eclipse. So pick that up. I'm sure you can. I'm sure it's all over the place. Back from 1992, it wasn't that popular.
Great. Huh?
Who's the guitar in it?
Neil Schoen.
Yeah.
Great melodic rock song. How that song wasn't huge, I don't know. They played on MTV and stuff, but that is a fucking great melodic rock song.
What year was that?
92.
92.
That's the whole reason.
Yeah, take a look at the year. But how that song wasn't huge, I don't know. It is freaking excellent.
I do remember that.
Good
song,
pick.
too.
Done.
My hidden gem is a band that I don't think is still going. They're from the local area. They were called Three to Breathe. It was a three-piece. They were kind of a grunge-like band. They had a kick-ass album, Life After Survival. They played a benefit that we put on for the library bands for books, and they kicked ass. And the singer was hungover that day.
Liquor
but
box
he's
opened
still-
up for them.
But he's still he was the singer guitarist, and he still was absolutely fucking phenomenal. You wouldn't have thought they had a bender the night before. The album is on Apple Music. It's called Life After Survival. Some of the songs I would pick: Swimming Lessons is really awesome. Shipwrecked, Ghost in the Attic, really cool, grungy. Almost sounds like they're from Seattle, but I think they're from the area. Maybe not Lackawanna County, but
Yeah, I want to
Northeast
say I
of
think they were
Pennsylvania.
based in New York or something when they played the benefit here.
yeah, the northeast area at least. But they were
good. They
really
were good.
nice
I do remember
guys,
those
and
guys. They were nice. They were good guys. They were cool guys.
I don't think they're
That's a good pick.
together, but
My pick this week is seeing that we're talking about the Rockin' Pod Expo. We're going to be there, and this guy's going to be there playing. Punky Meadows. He had an album come out in 2016. It's called Fallen Angel. It is an excellent, melodic hard rock album. Great guitar player. He's going to play the pre-show with Frank Domino, the former singer of Angel, and they're going to be doing Angel stuff from what I understand. And it's just a great album. Songs like The Price You Pay, Straight Shooter, Loaded Gun, Lost and Lonely, Homewrecker. There's one song on there called I Want to Be Your Drug. It's just a really good, solid album. So definitely check that out. Punky Meadows, Fallen Angel. It is a really good album. Check out, if you can, Brass Kitten from BC. Definitely you could find Hot Sherry out there from Hardline from BB. And Dylan said you could find 3 to Breathe on iTunes. So definitely check those albums and check those guys out. Really good stuff out there. We hope you guys check stuff out like that. If you guys have a hidden gem that you want us to listen to or whatever, throw it out there. We'll give it a listen and we'll tell you guys what we think, good or bad. And we don't pull no, I'm not going to tell someone I like something when I don't. Dylan knows that probably more than anybody here. Yeah. But there's a lot of cool shit out there that people have not heard of. So hopefully that we can bring some of these bands and some of this music to you guys that you may not have heard. And hopefully maybe you could be a new fan of one of these bands that we talk about. All right, let's get back into EPs. And like I said, I was going chronologically on the first thing. I will go first for the next pick. I'm going to go reverse. I'm going to go with the newest one. This one came out in 2015. It was released in April by a kick-ass band that BC, myself, and Dylan are going to see open up for Ozzy at the end of the month, Stone Sour. They put out an EP called Meanwhile in Burbank. Came out in 2015. Now, this is what the fuck I'm talking about when I want to hear Alice in Chains. They open the album up with We Die Young. You cannot, I don't think there is a better short, rockin' album opening song than We Die Young. It just boom, scare. I mean, just fucking kick ass. These guys do an excellent version of it. They do Priest, Heading Out to the Highway. Kiss, Love Gun, I love Kiss, but God, that song, it just grates on me after a while, but it's a good version, and they do, and this actually solidifies another topic that I spoke about when we did the episode with the guys from Digital Killed the Radio Star podcast, that totally solidifies. I think if Master of Puppets was the best Metallica album, I think Stone Sour would have picked a song from there to do, but they didn't. They picked one from Ride the Lightning. They picked Creeping Death, which is one of the best Metallica songs fucking ever. They did that kick-ass version of it, and then they closed it out, song number 5, with Children of the Grave from Black Sabbath. Just a great little quick covers EP. Fucking excellent.
So are you saying that Point of Entry is the best Priest album?
No, I'm not.
Because they could have played something off of Screaming for Vengeance, but they played it off of Point of Entry.
No.
Your logic is invalid again.
Dylan, shut the fuck up.
You could say the same thing for... Okay, yeah, you could say the same thing for Children of the Grave, Master of Reality. That's the best Black Sabbath album, huh?
Well, if we could go by that, then Love Gun is definitely the Kiss best Kiss album. Then. There you go.
It is.
See? But I'm saying, just my logic. All right. Great EP. I love it. I like. There's not a song. There's not a skippable song on here. And actually, even the guitar work at the end of Love Gun is done really well on this.
Now, do we want to go the order?
Yeah. Go that way.
Yeah, this is probably the EP that we're talking about tonight that I've listened to the most. I think Corey Taylor is well suited for all of these songs, and he brings out each of those individual singers, but in his own way.
Right.
Because you have soaring vocals of Rob Halford, you have weird vocals from Ozzy, the growling vocals of James Hetfield, the weird vocals of Lane Staley. So there's a lot of range that Corey Taylor has to bring out, and he does it really well.
And sorry, Slipknot fans, I would much rather hear Corey Taylor sing Stone Sour shit than Slipknot. I cannot get into that band.
You need to delve deeper into Slipknot, because there's some really good shit in there.
I'm sure there is,
but
I'd rather singing than screaming.
And I love some of the attention to detail in some of these songs, and it shows that Corey Taylor really is a fan. Because in Love Gun, he does a Paul Stanley, listen. And I'm like, yes, that's somebody who knows. But these song choices are really phenomenal. I honestly think it's probably the best of their covers LPs, because the next one, Straight Out of Burbank, I could do without Sailing On.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I didn't pick that one, even though I love the other versions of Give Me Shelter with Lizzy Hale's on that one.
Really
but
cool.
The first song absolutely killed that one for me.
Yeah, but I love how they do Children of the Grave. That's a great ender if you're starting with We Die Young. It's a really good bookends to some pretty good songs in between. Heading Out to the Highway is not the obvious Priest cover you go with.
It is not. And I like that they're We Die Young. That may be a little obvious one for that, but like Children of the Grave, no, because I mean, you know, you see everyone doing Paranoid and Iron Man and all that shit. But like Children of the Grave is a little kind of under the radar pick, and Heading Out the Highway definitely is. Love Gun, I really wish that they picked a different Kiss song, but that's what we get.
And like I think Creep and Death too is probably like a lesser. It's not covered as much as like other Metallica songs, because like Master of Puppets, that's been covered to death by a bunch of people. You know, For Whom the Bell Tolls, that's another one that people cover. And, you know, I understand, man, but I do like that they pick Creep and Death because it does have like the crowd participation. If they do break it out live, which I don't know if they would.
We hope, maybe.
And it would have been cool to have their version of, I think they covered Unchained for Hydrograd. And it would be cool to see that on here too.
That would be really cool.
But I think this is a really solid five song EP.
I agree with my predecessors here. There's nothing more I'm going to put on this. This is 5 great songs, I think, and done greatly. The only thing I'm going to add to this is my personal thing. I'm not really into new music. And every day I seem to go backwards more into my hole of what I used to be. But this is one band that I have all their albums. Every time, as soon as it comes out, I buy it. I'm just a huge Stone Sour fan.
Well, Hydrograd was one of our top albums last year.
Yeah, last year, yes. I mean, but here's a band, like you said, Corey Taylor is not only, he is a fan of music.
Yeah.
He puts himself into everything, in every show. I mean, that's a phenomenal.
I can't wait to see Stone Sour live.
I was just going to say, I can't wait to see
that.
him. So, I mean, that's all I'm going to say about it.
I think BB needs to get a ticket.
Come on, baby.
Come on! God damn it! Yeah, this album, this is definitely top 3 albums picked tonight. Like Dylan said, I love your description of bookends. You know, We Die Young and Children of the Grave are probably the best 2 on there, and then the other ones are slightly behind it. But this is a really good covers album. And Corey Taylor, his voice is spot on nowadays, and he just brings it every time he's recording in live shows as well.
Good pick.
All right. Thank you, fellas. I enjoyed. Actually, that was a pleasure to listen to. Dylan.
So the next one I'm going to do is the other one I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me for.
Why do you always say that?
I could have went with the easy picks. I could have went with the short EPs that show, okay, this is a typical EP. But I wanted to go for the EPs that break the mold, that try to...
I like your picks.
And I had to go with Change of Seasons from Dream Theater. Yes, it is longer than their first 2 albums. But track listing wise, there's only 5 songs. So it gives you your money's worth for a nice chunk of songs. It's the first recording to have Derek Sheridan on keyboards, and he does a fantastic job on this album. The first side is the Change of Seasons. I'll call it a suite because it's in multiple parts. It was originally supposed to be on, I believe, Images and Words, but the record company was like, we're not putting that on the album. So then they're like, well, we're putting out an EP with this. And it's a really cool Dream Theater original song. It has a lot of really different movements, some slower stuff, some like heavier, really cool stuff. Some sampling from Dead Poet Society, which is an awesome movie. It's a really cool way to have original material on an album that the rest of the material is covers. And the covers they do are not obvious covers, just like Stone Sour. They do 2 Elton John songs, Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding, songs that I had not heard before, despite being on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, one of his best albums. And then they go into Perfect Strangers from Deep Purple. You cannot say no to Deep Purple. And actually, whenever they would play this live, they would switch the instruments. So like, you know, Mike Portnoy would be on keyboards and John Petrucci would be on drums, and so like they would switch it around a bit to do it. And then they do a Led Zeppelin medley of The Rover, Achilles' Last Stand. The song remains the same. Really cool songs. But to me, the key track on this entire EP is the big medley. They open with In the Flesh, which is one of the greatest opening tracks of an album ever. It shows like a theatricality and like a really cool thing. It transitions so smoothly into the best parts of Carry On My Wayward Son. And then it goes right into the best part of Bohemian Rhapsody, the rockin' part. And then, probably one of the most smooth transitions ever, they go from like right before the orchestral part into Love and Touch and Squeeze in one of the best Journey songs. such a bluesy, like cool song. And then it goes into Cruise Control, Dixie Dregs. Kind of ironic because Jordan Rudess, I think, was in Dixie Dregs for a little bit, and he would end up joining the band later on. And then they go into Genesis, Turn It On Again to end out the album. So it's just under an hour, but they give you a lot of material to work with, a lot of things to love on this album. I constantly go back to the big medley to listen to it because it's just it's cool to see what they do with other people's music and make it their own, in that they flawlessly pull off the instrumentation, but they manage to seamlessly make it into almost like one song. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. BC, we'll start with you, since I know you'll have good things to say about it.
Come this way, you get good.
Yeah.
Dream Theater, like I said, back in the 90s, I was like a Dream Theater junkie. Now I'm just in the closet about it. But back then, I couldn't get enough DT. And when this came out, I was like, cool. I mean, again, there was stuff on here I never heard before, like the Elton John stuff, For a Friend and that. Great. Perfect Strangers to me. I love that song no matter who does it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go to a local bar here and somebody starts playing and be like, ah. And Led Zeppelin melody, which, you kind of get burned out with Led Zeppelin around. But
Yeah, a little bit.
But this is great. And my favorite overall, I agree with Dylan, is the big medley. And for like an hour, it's only 5 songs, but you get a variety.
Yeah.
You're not just getting 5 songs by...
Yeah, it's not like, oh, well, what the fuck? This is it?
You're getting little...
So you're walking through the produce market at a supermarket, not a convenience store.
Yeah, you're getting
more
the
selection.
spice section. You're getting...
Yeah. Get your paprika. Your
you're getting a little spice of
saffron,
everything right there. But like I said, this is probably one of my favorite.
Yeah.
DT, baby.
The Change of Season, I don't know why. Just the first song, it just seemed like I wasn't into it. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I don't know why. It just seemed like, okay, all right, come on.
He saw the song length and
That turned me off.
That turned you off.
It just kept like, all right, well, song 1 was just a little bit too long, but
DT.
But it gets better. You're saving the best for last. The Elton John song was good. Perfect Strangers was really, really good. I loved how they took the Led Zeppelin stuff and they threw some of their own keyboard stuff in there. Changed it up a little bit, and it seems like we're all on the same page with the last song with the big melody. Probably the greatest song on the album. It's a great way to end it.
I can see where the Change of Seasons is. Unless you're...
It can wear you out if you're not like attuned to Dream Theater.
If you're not attuned to Dream Theater out the bat, yeah.
There's many words you can use to describe Dream Theater. Succinct is not one of them. But yeah, I feel like if it was broken up, like if you could actually like move to the different parts instead of like the 20-minute chunk where like you broke it up, it would be a lot more palatable for people. But like you look at the time code, and because like none of the parts are over 4 minutes. Like the longest is 3:58. So yeah, I could see you getting burnt out on it a little bit. Yeah. Dad, why don't you rip a new one?
I gotta say, like, Dylan always thinks I'm gonna hate stuff.
Well, yeah.
So far, you're 2 for 2.
I don't hate this. I don't. Actually, I gave this a good couple listens. And I obviously had heard the big medley a couple times before. I've heard Perfect Strangers a bunch of times. In Change of Seasons, I really love the melodic guitar, the heavy organ sound, a lot of cool drum fills. And I spoke about it last time we talked about Dream Theater. I don't know what episode it was. I love James LeBrie's soft vocals. I love when he sings the softer vocal stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, there's even a little Pink Floydishness in there. There's one part where there's a guy talking, and it kind of reminds me of some of the stuff from The Wall and some of the stuff from Dark Side of the Moon, where you get that spoken word somewhere in a song. I really thought that was cool. It starts out kind of slow, but around the 10-minute mark, it picks up. At like, I even timed it. Like around 1840, it gets like heavy as fuck, and it's got a really cool keyboard solo in it. So I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a slog at the beginning, but it builds, I think, as you go along. I enjoyed it. Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding. It takes almost 4 minutes for it to kick in, which was a little bit. But And I actually never knew that this was the name of that Elton John song.
Oh yeah.
I never knew that was the name of it. Funeral for a Friend, they could have chopped that off of there, I think. And it's actually 6 minutes into the song before you hear any vocals at all, which I think was definitely a slog. I think if they just did the Elton John song itself, I think it would have had a lot more impact on the album. Perfect Strangers, you cannot go wrong with that. It's Deep Purple, number one. It's number two. It's Dream Theater, a very talented band doing it. And they have the keyboard sound down for this shit. They really do.
Yeah, and I think they basically cut up, because I think there's a keyboard solo before, and you can kind of hear like the ending of that before they went right into Perfect Strangers. Because I think Derek Sherinian does a keyboard solo before that.
And I could do without the Zeppelin one. I'm not a huge Zeppelin fan. The bass is really good in it. The song Remains the Same is pretty good in there. It's just okay for me. I'm not a massive Zeppelin fan. I'm more of a Zeppelin fan now than I was when I went on the Kiss Cruise last year and saw that kick-ass band on there. And I totally agree with everybody. The big medley, like In the Flesh. The only band besides Pink Floyd that have done that better is the Scorpions. No.
Did the Scorpions do that?
They did it on the Roger Waters wall thing that they did in Berlin. The Scorpions come out and they do In the Flesh. But I'm only kidding on that though. Carry My Wayward Son, Kansas. I'm a big fan of those guys. But the only thing is, there's a Mike Portnoy fail in Bohemian Rhapsody. There's one part in the middle where you think the drum sound would be great, and he just was like, doof, doof, and it goes on. I'm like, what? You're expecting something like yes, like that sounds awesome, and it's just like doof, doof, and then the song goes on. I can't think of the exact part. It's in the Bohemian Rhapsody part. It's a huge Mike Portnoy fail. I heard that and I was like, oh my god, you just ruined the whole fucking thing for me. But and Dylan is right. It is a perfect. Going from Bohemian Rhapsody to Journey, Love and Touch and Squeeze In. Cruise Control I wasn't really familiar with, but it's still cool. And Turn It On Again, it's kind of like reminds me a little tiny bit of the Final Countdown, a little triumphant sounding ending, I think, for that. And I enjoyed it, Dylan. Sorry to disappoint you.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm not arguing with it.
All right, BC.
I'm going to go with a band I cannot put enough words out there for.
Lizzy Borden, they do have an EP, but I know you didn't do that
I didn't
one.
pick this one. Now I'm going across the oceans to England for a Bigfoot. Stone Soldiers was one of their 2 EPs they put out before their first album. I actually found these guys on Facebook. There was a live show of these guys, and they were doing like the 3rd track off the EP, Run, is the solo part, and then when they kick back into the... Mm-hmm. And I saw that, and then I started looking up these guys, and it's been off to the races.
He's been in Bigfoot heaven ever since.
Again, not too many new bands I get into nowadays. This is definitely one of them. Cranking EP from like 5 songs with starts off with Stone Soldiers. Track 2 could be my title song, In the Gutter. That
could happen at any moment.
I could be here, I could be there, I could be in the gutter, which in the song that got me on these guys, Run. And then track 4, Just Like Me, could be a psycho, just like. And funny song at the very last track on it, Blame It on the Dog. It smells like shit. Blame it on the dog.
Smells like shit.
Yeah. And these guys bring it live, just like their EPs and albums.
They do.
I mean,
and apparently they have picked a new singer, I guess.
Yeah, picked a new singer, and
it's going to be cool. I'm sure they're not going to pick anybody shitty.
No. They just did a show with a bunch of people filled in for, because they would have had it lined up, and I'm not sure what happened. But anyways, they have their official guy that they're going to start, I want to believe, in the next week and a half, they're going to do a show with this guy. So there will be stuff on YouTube and all that stuff. So hopefully, I'm excited to see what it is.
Cool.
Yeah, I never even heard of these guys.
Come on. Get out of the basement.
I'm thinking maybe you meant to say Blackfoot. I'm like, who's Blackfoot? But yeah,
we've talked about them before.
Was I not here?
It might have been. No, I think you were. It might have been one of BC's
I mentioned
gyms or something.
Times. Okay. It was a gym.
I know we have talked about
them.
Yeah.
Did we do that? I've mentioned multiple times. I mean, I can't.
Pay attention, BB.
Push these guys enough. Can I like them on Facebook tonight when we go home?
Yes, sir. We'll get them on the show. Yeah, really catchy, cool tunes. I really enjoyed it. I thought the opening track was really cool. I don't have the songs in front of me. Number 4 is a real heavy groove, but that last song about the dog, it smells like shit. Blame it on the dog. That song just I played that like 5 times, like just on repeat. I thought that was hilarious, and you're closing your album off with that, so it was really it was a good listen. I liked it.
The song "Run" is just phenomenal. For that riff in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
song 5.
Yeah.
I
like this EP. I remember listening to it, and I think I texted BC. I'm like, hey, good pick. Did anybody put on the very beginning of Stone Soldiers? I seriously thought it was John Bon Jovi doing fucking Blaze of Glory. Listen to it. It sounds fucking almost exact
right in the beginning?
to the beginning. Even with the guitar. Listen to it. I'm telling you, I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, are they doing? And I wasn't even looking at the name of the song. I'm like, they're doing a cover of like fucking Blaze of Glory.
I think I can picture it.
And it's like maybe the first 5 or 6 seconds. I'm like, holy fuck, what are they doing? And then it changes. But a really good EP. I like those guys, and I don't know if it's because I've been listening to this other band this week also. These guys remind me of a newer Foghat. Listen to Blame It on the Dog. That song I think could be on like Foghat Live. It's just so, I don't know, boogie woogie rocky type shit. I love it. Like Run, it's got a great riff in it, a great groove for In the Gutter. Just like me, I love the gang yells in it. It's a fun song. And Blame It on the Dog, it's got the talk box in there. Just a great fun song. I think it's a great EP. It's a good quick listen. Throw it on there. You get you in, get you out, and that makes you say, boom, I want to listen to these guys a little more. And they remind me of a new Foghat, these guys.
Yeah, I had not listened to a note of Bigfoot before this episode.
Shame. The shame of it, BC.
But EPs are a great way to introduce you to a new band because this was a really good EP. I really enjoyed all these songs, and it kind of blew my mind that you said they were from England because they sound like
they do
Southern rock band.
And the thing is, too, Foghat is an English band.
Yeah, it just blows my mind.
And I always thought they were an American band. I mean, I knew that they weren't years ago, but I forgot that they weren't. And like this is a band that you would think was an American band, but they're not.
That blows my mind because
and this was the EP that caught Frontiers and pretty much had Frontiers
solidified their bang. You're putting shit out.
I don't think I could add too much more than everybody else said. Blame Another Dog is fucking hilarious.
Good pick, BB. What's up next for you, buddy?
What's Next to the Moon?
I hate that song.
I'm going to throw out the Guns N' Roses EP that was released right after Appetite for Destruction in 1988.
See, I gave you the perfect fucking segue with your other pick, and you went with the other one.
I was trying to do something here, and I went, and it almost slipped. But
right, Dad? Wasn't that a good segue?
Yes.
Thank you. Continue.
He wasn't even listening to you.
Yeah.
But I wanted to pick this song because the other day at work I had an old Appetite for Destruction Guns N' Roses song, and guy right around my age, you like Guns N' Roses? I'm like, yeah. How about you? Oh my God, they're my favorite band. I go, what do you think about their new song they just released? He goes, what are you talking about?
Big fan.
So, you big Guns N' Roses fan, this is where Shadow of Your Love comes from. They call this album Live from the Jungle.
New old song
that they released. The couple classic Guns N' Roses song, It's So Easy, kick-ass tune. It's a live recording. Shadow of Your Love, also another live recording. The guitar work on this album is fantastic.
Yeah.
Move to the City, and that's probably one of the best songs on the album there. And then they do Knocking on Heaven's Door live. Whole Lot of Rosie. Here we go talking about Axl and AC/DC again. He was covering AC/DC, back in 1988. So he already fit in that band well from what we talked about before. And then for some odd, silly reason, they wasted song 6, "Sweet Child of the Mine," which they could have even just put it on there live. You know, they just put the regular single on that to close the album, which was kind of disappointing when I listened to this. But other than that song, it's a really, really good album. It really shows their young rawness. I really, really love Slash's guitar playing on this, and even the production of this live album is really, really good. It really showcases how great Axl can play, you know, back in the day when he was really, really young.
I enjoyed it. I had to get onto YouTube to listen to it. I agree. It's got the rawness. It's definitely got the rawness. It's So Easy is very cool and very raw sounding on there. Shadow of Your Love, I don't know. I'm of two minds of that song. I'm like, how the fuck did this song not make it on Appetite for Destruction? However, what song are you going to maybe not have on Appetite for Destruction and put this song on there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm of two minds of that. And but it's just it's Moved to the City. I like it. I actually like the version on the live era better because you get the horn section and the band. Yeah, I love that. I love that version. But this is a good early version of that song. I think it's really good. Knocking on Heaven's Door. I don't give a shit who the fuck sings that song. I hate it. I just fucking hate that song. Whole Lotta Rosie, good version of it, very energetic. The guitar work in the background of that is a little different than the AC/DC version. I think it's just a little different. And actually, I'm gonna say Sweet Child of Mine it says on here same version, but actually I didn't listen to that.
Yeah, it's just a single release. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but it's the same thing. But actually, at the end of Move to the City, you could hear Axl go, "This song's about your fucking mother." So you know, and then it fades out. So you know that Mama Kin was next in that set list, and they just kind of chopped it up.
Well, yeah. According to Wikipedia, that version of "Move to the City" is the same one that's on Live Like a Suicide.
Yeah.
Which Mama Kin is right after
Right.
that. So, and actually, it looks like "Shadow of Your Love." It's a fake live recording. It's like studio version, but with overdubbed crowd noise.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love the song "Move to the City," and I don't know why it's not like a hugely popular Guns N' Roses song.
Right, like another song that you hear all the time from them.
Because like I think it's such a cool, different, like it has that blues influence and like that like rock and roll classic like.
It's got like a
feel to
50s
it.
sound
Yeah.
to it.
I mean, like I'm with you. I like the Live Arrow one better because I love the horns in that. The da 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 da. Like it's got this like cool energy, but this is a band that's hungry. You could feel it before Axl got too fucking crazy with his demands. Because like Whole Lotta Rosie, I love how much more like they up the tempo on that song. Because it's like a friggin' speed metal version, basically.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
It is really awesome. But like, open it with "It's So Easy." It's not like thinking about it. It's not an opener that you would normally think, okay, this is an opening song. But they always open their shows with it, and you could see why. Because
The way it builds up.
So fucking easy. Yeah, this is a really good live album. Like, why would they put "Sweet Child of Mine" on there? Like, why do they have to do that?
Right, even put it live. Put a live one on.
Yeah,
there.
like a live
I'm sure it
version
was
of it.
recorded when all these other songs were recorded.
Yeah, like and not.
You know, it must have been right around the time that they released that song that they threw it on there.
Yeah,
Because I think it actually says it was only released in Japan.
it's weird. Yeah, this is a really good, really good EP for this band. Yeah.
I love the live stuff. I mean, like you said, this is back when Guns N' Roses were hungry. So
Yeah.
I mean, then after Appetite and GNR Lies, I think they kind of got too
Right.
like big. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I liked it back better when they were first coming out, and they were different, and they were fucking sleaze, like raw,
Dirty,
and like you said, Sweet Child of
living in
Mine.
the gutters.
Other than, I mean, everything's great. I loved it, but the Sweet Child of Mine, like you said,
Yeah.
that's the same as what was on the album. Why did you do that?
Could have left it off, and it would have
Could
been
have left it off.
exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah, if you just left it with the Whole Lot
Yeah,
of
just
Roses.
stop.
Yeah, I don't know why that was thrown on there. That's why I didn't listen to it, because it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it wasn't live. Wasn't nothing special.
Nothing
I don't know.
different, no.
I don't understand.
But that's the original Guns N' Roses. I mean,
The young, hungry, dirty,
that.
grungy,
yeah. I mean, to me,
Steve
that,
Adler
heroin
feel on the
addicted.
drums.
Guns N' Roses that we all know and love.
Yep.
Yeah.
You wanted the best, well, they couldn't fucking make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
one of the best they could.
All right. Good pick, BB. I'm going to go with my final pick for the night, and I'm going back in time here. I'm going reverse.
Huey Lewis in the news?
Yes, I am. Their EP, it was called, This Is, well, I don't know. Sorry.
This is Steve Wright.
I'm picking the Queensryche EP.
Yeah.
One of my favorite EPs of all time. Absolutely love Queensryche. I spoke about it on episodes before. I first heard the song Queen of the Reich on That Metal Shop, the only show with teeth. It used to come on, I believe, Monday nights from our local radio station, Rock 107. 11 o'clock, I think 11 to 1, I think it was on. And I used to just tape that show every week and just play the fuck out of everything. That's the first time I heard Fastway and Queensryche and a ton of stuff like that. And absolutely friggin' loved it. Song Queen of the Reich, Knight Rider. Knight Rider, I think, is the best song that Judas Priest never wrote. Listen to the song Knight Rider, and I can absolutely see this song on Defenders of the Faith.
I can see it.
I can absolutely
like
see that.
It's even got the priest kind of name to it.
It does. It does. I think it would have even been a cool name for a Priest album. Yeah. Just a fantastic song. I don't think I've ever seen them do this song live. I don't know if they did it maybe when you guys saw them when Teletori first came in the band. But I don't know. But I would absolutely go out of my fucking mind if they played that song live. The song Blinded, it just kind of has that calling me, blinded. I just love how that just builds at the end. And The Lady Wore Black, it's not a rockin' song. I know BC loves this fucking song. And it is just an amazing melodic, mid-tempo song. And it is just a perfect end to a perfect EP. It's like 17 and a half minutes long. It like this EP was like, I listened to it, I'm like, fuck, I want more. And then when the warning came out after it, it was like the perfect next step for them, I think. I absolutely love this. I listen to this, I won't say all the time, but at least probably once a month or once every other month, I will put this on and just like listen to it. And I'll listen to it and then play it again because I really like it so much. I think it's just fantastic. This is, I think, the epitome of an EP that a band puts out, and here's what we are, here's what we sound like. Love it or hate it. Hopefully you listen to it and want more.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think that if you're a band that you want to be like, okay, how do we get people's attention? How do we get our name out there? And you start off with a song like Queen of the Reich, you have your career panned out for you right then and there. Because, I mean, Jeff Tate's vocals are fucking soaring on all of these songs, but like especially the Queen of the Reich, like I can't do it justice.
It's like shattered glass.
But like his performance, you could already see he's getting the theatricality down, and you can see it developing as the songs go. You can almost picture him on stage just being that front man that he'll become that one day. And I don't think I had ever heard Blinded before I listened to this EP. I had, of course, heard Queen of the Reich, and I'd heard The Lady Wore Black. I think I heard Knight Rider once or twice, but Blinded was a new song for me, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know why, for some reason, I would always skip like the first EPs of bands. Like I hadn't heard Armored Saints and I hadn't heard Def Leppard, so I would just go right to the first album. And I don't know why I would skip like quality material like this. And it's a little tougher for me because like I was coming in like very much later. Like the first stuff I would hear from Queensryche was like Operation Mindcrime era. So
Christy Garmo was gone for the band by the time Dylan was born.
Yeah, like it was like Chris who. But
he used to be in the band.
I'd rather see Christy Garmo come back to Queensryche than see Ace come back to Kiss.
I thought you were going to say than see Jeff Tate come back to Queensryche.
Him too.
Wow. But
Seriously.
this is a statement EP. That's exactly what I want to call it. It's a statement. This is who we are. we're not going to be called the Mob anymore, which was a stupid name anyways. We're going to be Queensryche.
The Mob.
Even the Mob doesn't want to be called the Mob.
Yeah.
The Mob. I'm going, that was a good call. Change their name, I thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree. Unfortunately, this was not my first experience with Queensryche. Of course, the Warner was. Of course, then you go back. I find myself doing that a lot lately, or back then even. But I mean, like you said, 4 songs because Queen of the Reich, Knight Rider, Blinded, and of course the BC favorite, Lady Wore Black.
Yep.
And when this, I mean, I'm going back to when they were
Young.
I mean, that was the sound. They were like different. That's what excited me. Like, okay, these bands sound a lot, but this band stands out in the crowd, and Queensryche always stood out in the crowd, even to this day. I think
so.
And now they have more of a younger sound, and now the new guy, I think they got back a little bit. And
get a little deeper
back into
their catalog. But yeah, definitely, just like the concept albums we had, and these guys knocked that out of the park. What can you say about this album? They hit the first home run with the first pitch. This album is fantastic front to back, not a skippable song. Everybody's so young and want to get out there, and it's just a great sounding album. Queen of the Reich is fantastic, and once again, BC's song "Lady Wore Black" is just a staple of a Queensryche song that once it starts, you know what it is, and you're just gonna rock out to it. But this is probably the easiest saying that is probably the best EP of tonight.
All right.
I mean, like, you can't be like, oh yeah, Queensryche's first EP, that fucking sucks. Like,
Because if you say that, then you don't like Queensryche at all.
Yeah. And I don't know, when I was younger, I don't know what it was about Queensryche that didn't grab me, but listening to them now, I'm like, why? I was missing out on so much good shit, because Operation Mindcrime is a fucking masterpiece.
You weren't mature enough to enjoy that.
That might very well be it.
it's like wine.
I was listening to 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence by Dream Theater at that point, but I don't know if that means it.
All right.
Good pick, though.
Dylan, what's your final pick?
My final pick, we've talked about this band already tonight, but it's at the other end of their career. Whereas BB talked about Anthrax with Armed and Dangerous, I'm talking about Anthrax with their covers EP Anthems. This is another cool covers EP. We've already talked about, 2 tonight? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3. And I think that this is a really good selection of songs. They start off with Rush's Anthem, Anthem of the Heart, Anthem of the Mind. I think during the Wonders of the World part, Joey Belladonna's voice gets a little on my nerves, but other than that, it's a great cover of the song. Then they go into AC/DC's TNT, a cool cover. I think Joey Belladonna does the theatricality of Bon Scott pretty well in this song, because Bon has this just piss and vinegar attitude, and especially in this song, that you need to bring out in order to do it justice, and I think Joey Belladonna does that really well. The next track, I think, is my personal favorite, Smokin' from Boston. They do such a rocking cover of this song. It blew my mind the first time I heard it, because they do the really cool instrumental part awesome, and I think Joey hit those vocals just right. Keep on Running, Journey, I could live without that one. It's not bad, but I hear it I hear the original version so much that it just kind of blew it out for me. Big Eyes, Cheap Trick, great cover of that. Jailbreak from your favorite band, Thin Lizzy.
Absolutely.
And a cool version of it. I think this showcases Joey Belladonna's range, because it's lower in his vocal range for him. He's not usually going down to that level to do the Phil Lynott stuff, but he pulls it off really well. And then the EP closes out with 2 versions of Crawl from their Worship Music album. One the original version and one the remix. And honestly, I think they could have just put the remix on there if they wanted to put any of them. I don't think they quite fit with the rest of the songs. No. And I don't really like the remix as compared to the original version. But if they had to put one of them on there, why not just put the new remix on, even though it didn't need a remix? But I think it's a cool album, and it showcases how far Anthrax has come from when they started with Joey Belladonna to almost modern day. I mean, one album away from modern day, but a cool album to close out my EPs.
I agree with you. I mean, I think Smokin' was the first one I heard off this album. I was like, wow. I mean, for Anthrax, I mean, you're looking at the music Anthrax came from. They're doing like Smokin', Keep On Running, like you said, Journey. But it's cool to hear a band like this do something different than what they normally do. I guess you could say. One of my favorite, Big Eyes. Big. I mean, again, I look at it as here's a band like Anthrax doing this kind of stuff. TNT is just, I mean, classic AC/DC tune, hugging you anthem. Like you said, Jailbreak, Thin Lizzy, but I kind of like Thin Lizzy done by other people than Thin Lizzy. And like you said, Crawl just doesn't really fit in there. I agree with you on that. They could have just finished it off with Jailbreak.
Yeah, definitely. I love Joey Belladonna's voice, and probably for me, Big Eyes, as you guys have already said, is probably the best cover on there. And I don't know, maybe it was just me, and I kind of enjoyed Smokin'. I thought it was a good cover.
That's my favorite on the
Bad for you.
True. And I was a little disappointed with Jailbreak, but it's tough to cover Phil's voice. But other than that, I thought this was really, really spot on, and it really shows Joey's range of vocals and what a great vocalist he actually is.
I enjoy this one. I listen to some of the stuff on here regularly. Anthem is really cool, great version. AC/DC TNT, I've heard that to death. Although at the end part when they're doing TNT, that the pick scrapes is really cool there.
Yeah, that is cool.
Smokin', I was absolutely and still blown the fuck away by the version of this song.
Such a fucking good version.
I love the song to begin with, but this is my go-to version of this song now. Absolutely blows me away every time I fucking hear it.
Yeah.
And like hearing Anthrax with like the heavy organ, so it's just fucking kick-ass.
I was really surprised they broke out the organ. And it was just like,
because the first time I heard it, I'm like, are they going to do the organ on this?
And then they
I'm thinking,
broke it out.
if they don't, what the fuck are they going to do for this part? Because that's an integral part of the song. And when they did it, I'm like, oh my God, whoever they got to do this just totally fucking nailed it. And Keep On Running, I like that song. I think it's a bold choice for Anthrax to do. Yes. They didn't do, they could have done whatever the fuck by Journey, and actually doing a Journey song alone is a risk for them to do, and having them do that song, I think it's a more of a off the radar song. I kind of disagree with Dylan. I don't think it's a song that you hear a lot by Journey, but I think it's a really good choice. Big Eyes. When I saw that on there, I'm like, holy fuck! I'm like, that is one of my absolute favorite songs on Live at Budokan. Absolutely love it. It's just such a cool groove song. Love it. Jailbreak is Jailbreak, and like I agree with BC that I kind of like Thin Lizzy shit more when other people do it, and it's a good version. And I actually like the remix version of Crawl better than the original one. Mm-hmm. I like the kind of symphonic part to the end of it. I like that, and I do agree with you, Dylan, that they should have just put the remix on there instead of having two versions on it there. I would have shortened it up, and if you want to hear the remix heard, then listen to it here. If you want to hear the regular song, go to the album.
Yeah, and it was Fred Mandel that did keyboards on that, and he actually did keyboards for Alice Cooper for From the Inside and Flush the Fashion.
Well, Fred, you kicked ass on that.
And to connect to one of my other things, he did the Hammond organ for In the Flesh on Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Cool. Good.
So you thought you
Good
might
pick,
like
though.
to go to the show.
Good way to wrap it up. BC, what's your final one? I know what your final one is.
Tell the people.
Fuck.
Parental guidance suggested.
It's funny how, I mean, I followed this band roughly since they first came out with their first album with the I love that cocaine. There's Buck Cherry with their EP from 2014, just entitled Fuck, which 6 balls to the wall tracks of
Buck Cherry craziness.
Buck Cherry craziness, and every song has to deal with the word fuck in it, and it's one of my favorite words. If anybody really hangs around me will know I use it quite often. So how can I not like this album?
At the most inopportune time.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm not a public speaker. But here's an album. I guess if anybody follows Bookshare, you know how they are. And somebody fuck with me. I mean, it gets the lyrics. Fuck this. Fuck that. Fuck the politicians. Fuck the system. And just how can you not get into music? It's just. I mean, not to be serious, just throw music on, like you said. Have a good fucking time. See, there's the word again. And then I guess to do a cover of Icona Pop.
Yeah, it's I
like it is the name of the song, but they changed it to Say Fuck It, which I thought was fucking hysterical. It got bashed a lot by a lot of people.
Oh, that's a cover song?
That's a cover song that they changed the words to.
Song.
Oh, yeah?
As soon as I heard it coming on, the music, I'm going, I heard this on the radio shit.
It sounded familiar. I'm like,
that's
wait
why.
a minute.
When they start going, I don't, I'm like, they're not covering this fucking song.
Yeah.
It's all over the goddamn
I heard that.
radio.
It's over the goddamn radio.
In 2012, and I fucking hated that song.
But they changed the lyrics instead of
shit.
I like it to say fuck it, say fuck it, say fuck it, instead of I like it, I like it. I thought that was, I laughed my balls off. Because at first time I heard it, I'm like, oh my God, they're doing this? But then I'm thinking, that ain't the song.
I was wondering why it sounded familiar.
That's
but
why
I
it
just
sounded so
didn't
familiar.
click with me.
It was always on the fucking radio. I like it.
Really poppy song.
And they turned around and changed the lyrics instead of saying I like it to say fuck it, which I thought was great. And a lot of people got mad because I think it's maybe their way of throwing a shot to that song. I don't know. Whatever. Get over it. Track 3, the motherfucker. I get speechless when it comes to this. And number 4 off this is like BC's title track, The Life Anymore. I don't give a fuck. and then track 5 is What Happens After I Drink for 6-7 hours. It's a fucking disaster. And then usually most nights end up in a fist fuck. So I mean, this is a great EP of just fucking.
He's been there, done that.
Been there, done it. I mean, it's a great EP of just.
He's been there, done that. All 6 songs.
And I mean, they kind of got. I don't know what I want to say, radio-ish. And then they came out with this EP, and it was just fucking rock and roll and just in your face. Fuck you.
And then their next album was rock and roll.
And their next album was rock and roll after this. But to me, this is Bookshare.
Yeah. Definitely a funny album. It seemed like all the songs to me just sounded the same, but that song too, Just Fuck It, say fuck it, you know, having a 12-year-old girl in the house, I knew that song. I'm like, and then I start laughing, and it's like hilarious. But that's a really good song, and I really thought the last song, Fist Fuck, I thought that was the best song on the album. Another great way to close out the album, but. Yeah, it just seemed. Don't get me wrong. They're rocking. They're cool tone. They just all sounded the same. Like there's no.
He enjoys the song and the action the most.
That's right.
I like the word fuck.
That's right.
I enjoyed it. I was laughing my ass off listening to this whole fucking thing. Somebody fucked with me. It's like so cool. It got a great riff in it. Say fuck it. Like I didn't know that was another song because I don't listen to any of that other shit.
That came on,
but if you listen to that song during the chorus. Listen to the guitar, it sounds like Thunderstruck.
I think I want to say
just like fucking Thunderstruck.
It does. I want to say they put that in there as like a wink that like it isn't their song.
Oh, okay. Well,
because I did hear that too.
I'm like, that's Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
So I did hear that.
Like motherfucker, good rocker. I don't give a fuck. Is Gruzy. It's a fucking disaster. That's probably my least favorite one on there. And Fist Fuck is cool. I enjoy it. I think it's a fun say fuck it album EP. I like it. It's quick to the point. It's like I don't know, like 16 minutes or something like that. It's good to put on, you know. And I think that this EP is the totally fucking opposite of Jar of Flies. It is. It's like this is like yes, let's get out there. I don't give a fuck, whatever. And then Jar of Flies is like, oh, my life sucks and blah blah blah. This is get out there and fucking party, have a good life. The other one's like, eh. So good pick.
Yeah, it's good. I love it. The song. So I don't like this version either. Just because they changed two words doesn't make me like it any better.
I thought it was very like a dance.
It's a pop song.
I'm gonna have to listen to that other song.
It's a pop song.
I got burnt out by that fucking song.
I like it.
soon as it came on,
I actually hear that now. I want to get up and I want to dance a little bit.
You hear something, you're going.
When the podcast is over, I'll play the original version for you.
Okay.
It's like terrible. somebody fucked with me. I was like, this could, if it had more thought into the lyrics, it could almost be a Rage Against the Machine song.
Yeah.
Because like I kind of had that, it had that
feel.
bounce to it.
Had to feel it to it.
Yeah, like BB, they kind of all blend together for me. But it was an enjoyable listen. It's a nice like shut your brain off and just like listen
it
to
on there and crank
some
it up.
music album.
Don't think about it, just crank it up.
It's not going to win any
Say fuck
Nobel Prizes or anything.
Say fuck it. No, God, no.
But it's a fun listen. It's a fun listen. I'll call
Fun
it that.
listen. It's
Yeah.
F. There's a
That's
big-
what music is all about.
There's about it.
Fun.
Big F on the cover. So it could be fun, fuck, fajita, convenient.
Yeah. I just love looking at the iTunes track listing because it's all like asterisks. Yeah.
I get the actual CDs.
Good pick, BC. BB, wrap it up.
That's a fucking good pick.
Fuck everything.
What's next to the moon?
BC has the most classic pick here, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna go way, way back. We're going back to 1974. BB was only 2 years old, but
Dylan was
He was still listening to
Dylan
it.
was minus 20.
Dylan was still in Steve's parents.
Steve was 6, baby.
I don't think I was even like circulating at that point.
And what were we rocking out
No.
to in 1974?
I don't think so.
AC/DC's Jailbreak. Even it was released.
Jailbreak.
It was released in Australia and recorded in '74, but it was not released in the States until 1984. Opens up with a iconic AC/DC song, Jailbreak. One of my favorite AC/DC songs, probably. And then it kind of showcases where they actually came from, being such a young band back then. You Ain't Got a Hold on Me is a slower song. It's really catchy. It has really cool, softer guitar riffs in that song. Next song, Show Business. It's kind of like a bluesy type song. Really cool, really good guitar riff. Bon Scott's like raspy, bluesy voice really fits that song really good as well. Soul Stripper, really, really, really cool song. The tambourine in it, it's just a really weird way to see AC/DC start coming out, where they were and what they went through and how they are today. And they close out with "Baby Please Don't Go." It's a cover. It's not bad. I actually listened to the original song just to give it a different vibe, to see which one is better. And they give it a good cover. It's definitely different than the original. And once again, it's just a young AC/DC, and it's not a really hard kick-ass rock album. It just shows where they actually were in 1974. I thought it was a nice little history.
I like it. I gotta say, Jailbreak is one of my top 5 favorite AC/DC songs. I absolutely love it. I love it when they do it live with Brian Johnson. I love the video. It's like so old and so cheesy. They're like in this rock pile or whatever the fuck, and they're playing it. Very cool song. You Ain't Got a Hold on Me, I could kind of live without. Show Business is really cool. Show Business, I think it's a pretty cool song. Soul Stripper. Now, we talked about before, when we talked about the most musical album is Alice in Chains, blah, 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 whatever, with violins and wood blocks. Now, listen to Soul Stripper. That is the most effective use of a wood block I've ever heard in a fucking song ever.
More woodblock.
Cool. And actually, Soul Stripper, I could absolutely hear that that song being on like Powerage, or being on even High Voltage. I'm sorry.
Well, it was on the Australian version of High Voltage. That's where it's from.
Oh, really? Okay, because I know it wasn't on the version that we had.
Yeah.
I mean, a really cool song. And Baby Please Don't Go, I like, everyone's done that song. There's Ted Nugent has done a version of that. It's on, I think it's on the his greatest hits one, and then it's on a bunch of different shit. But I like the looseness that they play that version of. I like it's not an extremely tight version of it, but I think it's a song that needs to be played loose like that. I think it's a very good version. I enjoy it. Like I said, Jailbreak is absolutely one of my favorite AC/DC songs. I fucking love it.
It's kind of funny because the first and last tracks, these versions aren't the first versions I heard of those songs. Like, I heard Jailbreak first on like the Live in Donington, where they have like the extended solo in the middle of it, and Brian Johnson singing it. And I heard Baby Please Don't Go I first heard Ted Nugent's version.
Right.
But I really love this version of Jailbreak because, and I keep coming back to this, but Bon Scott has this way of adding character to the vocals that I don't think Brian Johnson quite is able to do it that way. Like, he's able to almost make a character out of each song, or like it's like a person. It's like he's telling you a story. It's like there was a friend of mine on murder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it's like you're just in a bar with them, and he just
He's telling you the story at the bar.
And yeah, like there's that quality of like drinking buddy that Bon Scott has that Brian Johnson doesn't quite have. Although he's great in other aspects and an amazing singer in his own right. I think it's cool that we got these songs because they weren't on any of the U.S. releases. They weren't on any of the actual albums that we got, because I don't know why those albums were different than the ones we got. But
Welcome to America.
Yeah, but I like You Ain't Got a Hold on Me. I think it's a different kind of song for AC/DC. It's not the typical fare that you get. Show Business is cool. It's got a cool, bounce to its step. Soul Stripper's great. Might overstay its welcome a little bit too much for me. I don't normally look at AC/DC.
It's a long song for an AC/DC album
it's like
track.
a 6-minute.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Totally.
But there's some excellent guitar playing in that song.
No, there is, absolutely.
Totally unusual.
But it's definitely a long song for an AC/DC album track.
Yeah. And Baby Please Don't Go. It's a cool cover.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
BC.
let's
I'm not going to touch. I mean, I'm
Sorry.
not going to hold
Duh.
it.
Okay.
But you guys touched pretty much base on everything. To me, Jailbreak is, to me, one of my iconic AC/DC songs.
Yeah.
You can be in the shittiest mood there is. That comes like,
All in the name of liberty.
and that brings you up.
They do it live. It's like a 15-minute version.
Yeah, and you don't care. It's just that great of a song. And to me, there two are Soul Stripper and the cover of Baby Please Don't Go. I mean, like I said, it's just
You've heard it a ton of times.
a ton of times, but
I like
throw it on there
I
and-
love the looseness of it. I really do.
Yeah.
looseness or whatever, just the way to do it.
One thing I have to say about Jailbreak is how Angus uses the guitar in that song. Because, like, during that part I was just talking about, like, with the siren, like, he, like, uses it as a sound effect, or,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
like an actor in the piece. Like, it's really cool.
And I just like, he made it out with a bullet in his back. And then it goes right back. I absolutely love that. And they even to this day, they still pull it off great live. I absolutely love it. Great picks, guys. Great picks. Excellent. I enjoyed this episode. I love listening to most of the stuff. Real quick around the table, give us your favorite and least favorite picks of everyone else's besides your own.
Off with least favorite.
Dylan, favorite and least favorite.
I'm gonna say favorite was probably. I gotta look back at them.
Dylan's wondering if he can pick his own.
Besides your own, you
my
can't
own.
pick your own.
I'm gonna say my favorite was probably. In terms of, I'll go Queensryche was probably my favorite. My least favorite, probably Hailstorm because of those first three. Unpopular opinion, but
Okay. BC.
Oh man, my favorite overall, go with my heart, Queensryche. Least favorite, I'm probably gonna go Alice in Chains, just because it's a little bit different in my.
stop clicking your damn pen.
Sorry. BB.
Well, I was originally going to say Queensryche. So it seems
You
like
still can.
I think I even said that before. This is my favorite one. I think I've already said this, and probably my least favorite. Sorry, BC. I don't give a fuck.
That's it. We're fine.
You offend his sensibilities on that one. We all know my least favorite pick, Alice in Chains, hands down. But my favorite pick, I'm going to go with, I think, Anthems, of Anthrax, because I just, love Smokin', and I absolutely love Big Eyes on there. And even though TNT is played to death and Jailbreak is played to death. There's still good versions. There's still little tidbits in there that I really enjoy. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode out there. We'll go around real quick. I know we have a long episode today, but once around the table, we'll give quick goodbyes. And Dylan,
if you're nervous about checking out a band, definitely start with their EPs because they're a quick, nice sampler platter. Besides Dream Theaters, which was longer than their first 2 albums, it's a good way to get into a band. A good way to dip your feet in before you take the plunge into their full discography.
I agree with Dylan. In one word, Bigfoot.
And I'm glad we did this EP thing because now Steve knows what EP stands for, extended plays. But no, really cool version. And I, like BC said, Bigfoot. That I would have never listened to them. And in the Armored Saint one, I probably would have never, even though it's only 3 songs, but it gets you to indulge the deepest you can go, almost, because a lot of these bands that we talked about, their first release was an EP. They're either 3 or 5 songs, but that's their young rawness, and that's how they sounded.
I'm gonna say back in the day, going back to me and Steve, since we're the oldest here. I mean, that's how you first heard of band EPs, but we weren't able to really get something until it was
physically
out.
Right.
So, for me, I got their big release, and then you found, as they got bigger, you found their older shit coming in.
Oh, right.
And I'm going to say BC kind of said what I was going to say, that for back in the day, a lot of times EPs that was what you had to start with. That was your starting point. And if and like for instance with me with Queen's Reich, like I heard song Queen of the Reich, and I didn't know when that was going to come out. Like it was like months later that I was able to get it. That's another band that I drove the people at the record store crazy. She had the new Queen's Reich. They're like, we don't even know what the fuck is. And then when it finally came in, I didn't know if it was going to be an album or what the fuck. So I got it and it was an EP, and I was like, holy shit, cool. But then when you hear that, you're like, I want more of this. And it was so different back then than it is now. But if you want to check out a band and you want to hear how they were back in the day or whatever, go back to their EPs. Like if it's a band that they don't do cover ones and stuff like that, and the cover ones are still great. I love them. Like I picked 2 out of 3 there, and I think it's great. I was glad we did this episode. Even though there's stuff that we all liked and didn't like, there's still gems in there. There's still good stuff in there. Even the Alice in Chains one, I enjoyed 2 of the songs out of it. I didn't like the feel of it, but there's still good songs in there. And just because I don't like it, don't mean anyone else has to dislike it. And music is all it's a mood thing. If you feel like listen to that shit, go ahead. If you feel like want to party it up, listen to BC's Buck Cherry Fuck, And I appreciate all you guys listening out there. Thanks to everybody for listening. If this is your first episode, welcome. If you're a return listener, thank you for sticking with us, hanging with us. Please share our episodes. We would greatly appreciate it if you would give us a review, hopefully 5-star on iTunes. It helps get the podcast out there more. Check out a website. It's called Podchaser, and it's great. There's all the different podcasts on there. Please give us a review on there. We got a couple good reviews on there from guys from other podcasts, Sonny Pooney and David from Digital gave us a good review on there. Check that out. It's easy to sign up for. You just do a name and a password. You can get on there. You can check out everything on there, and it gives you a good variety of different podcasts. And thank you to the Growing Up Rock podcast with Stephen Michael and Sonny Pooney. They had their first year episode. They gave us a great shout out. They read BB's review of them. They read mine on there. And we've had Stephen Michael and Sonny Pooney on the show before. And you will be hearing from Sonny Pooney very shortly after this episode. And the next episode we have coming up, you're going to be like, how about that? So I'm going to leave it at that. And we will check you out next time. And there will be a next time.